You see what happens when you play with fire?
You get buried. Trust me.
What is going on, everybody? Anthony here, 𝗕𝗘𝗢𝗢𝗎, episode 101. Tales of Dark Side. We're mixing it up tonight. We have entered the 90s. If you guys are tuning in now, probably just saw it. So smash the like button, guys. Say what's up. I got a couple of cool people here tonight. We're doing a members stream, my friends. Started an hour early. Before I bring everybody in, though, I will say hello to all of you out in the chat, my friends. So bear with me while we look through here and see who is who. CT, my man, in the house. Today was one of the funniest days in Mafia Discord. You guys are brilliant and clever as fuck. Dude, yeah, you guys, man, come check it out, man. It's so fun in there, guys. We have a lot of fun in there. Dude, it's freaking awesome. Uncarded Reviews, what's up, man? Terminator bust with a 12 scale figure on the front and a 6 scale on the back. Yeah, bro. We're gonna talk about that shit for sure. Justin McFly in the house. What is up, dude? Bob Dylan as well, dude. My man. It's like the only Terminator collectible you'll ever need. Yeah, bro. Yeah, dude. Marlon, what's up, my man? Ren's also in the house. What is good, man? Supreme, what is up? It's 8 p.m. Do you know where your toys are at? Hell yeah, dude. Ash Chase also in the house. What's up, Ash? Amir as well, my friend. Force, what is up? Man, lots of good people in here. A lot of familiar faces. Fad Gadget, what is up, my friend, as well. Lewis Bits, Jedi Chris, what is up, man? Tokinator, my dude, in the house. What's up, man? Oilers, congrats, Oilers, man. That was badass, man. That showcase, man, that you showed me earlier. Dude, pretty awesome, man. What is good? Iron King also in the house. What's up, dude? Who else we got? Lane Kramer, what is happening, my man? Mafia about to be unleashed. Yeah, maybe. Peyton 23, what's up, my man, as well, man? If I miss anybody, my apologies. Erwin also in the house. Who else do we have in here? Brian Hepburn, what is good? What is good? Lucifer, yeah, my man. I'm gonna mix it up. I'm mixing it up a little bit, you know, mixing it up a little bit, as you guys can see. Blackbird Tech, what's up, my man? Also in the house, dude. Who else we got up in here, man? Valiant Archer, what's up, man? I rock 'em on Chris with a bunch of flames. My dude, 90s God mode unlocked, dude. Thanks, my man. Hot Toys Nightmare, dude. What's up, brother? How you doing, man? Also, pleasure to have you here as well. As always, got Brandon also here. What a week. Have a feeling at the end of the year, our wallets are going to be absolutely destroyed. Yeah, dude. It's been pretty shitty. It's been you know, it sucks, man. Derek also in the house. Good evening, gentlemen. Let's get Saturday night going, my man. Funky Cold Santa also in the house. What is up, man? Benjamin E Green also, what's up, dude? Welcome to the Matrix. Appreciate it, man. Robert Online as well. What's up, dude, man? Guys, I'm just trying to say what's up to everybody before we get in. Joey Cannoli, what's up, man? Let us roll. A is for Apple. What is up, my friend? Rhodes as well, also in the house, man. Punisher XS, what is good, dude? Lava 1701, what's up, dude? Guys, if I miss anybody, my apologies, man, but we are going to get into some things this evening. But first, I must bring in my man, Hector 16 Shape. What is up, dude?
Yeah. How's everyone doing today?
We're doing good. How about you?
Good. Hey, forget figures. Let's just talk hours for about these movies that we just saw, man.
Yeah. All right. Well,
let's start with Total Recall.
Total Recall, my man. And also, I do have my man, Late Bloomer, also in the house. What's up, brother?
What's going on, everybody? Thank you, Mafia, for thinking of me today. I'm just so happy to be here. So blessed. My brother with me, Hector 16 Shape. We're just so excited to talk figures tonight. So let's do it.
Hell yeah, my friends, dude. Late Bloomer, shout out. Here's Bob Dylan in the chat. What's up, dude? And Hector.
Bob, the angel. What's up, bro?
He is, man. He is. I just saw him meet up with whatchamacallit, dude.
𝗕𝗘𝗢𝗢𝗢. What's that?
Yeah. Diablo Fett. I was trying to think of the YouTube name, but yeah, man. Yeah, man, that was so cool, man. It's cool that you guys got to meet up, man. That was awesome, dude.
Shout out to Bob Dylan real quick. On our Discord, we are currently having a Bob Dylan meme contest. The winner, I don't know what the winner gets, but we're all just laughed. So.
Oh, the memes. Yeah, dude. Lots of memes in there, dude. It's pretty funny, dude. Yeah, it's pretty good, man. Well, oh, geez. Here you go, Hector.
Once Sub-Zero, now Plane Zero.
So awesome, my man. Kinky Sphincter, man, celebrating 16 months. Channel membership, my man. Dude, thank you so much, man. Thank you so much, dude. He says, giveaway, 𝗕𝗔𝗦𝗔𝗩𝗘. It's just been a thing. It's been a thing, my friend. But anyway, man, Red Ledger was also up. What's up, dude? Happy Saturday. Yeah, man. So, dude, what do we want to talk about tonight, man? I mean, there's a few things, but what should we start with, actually? Dude, let's start with this.
Oh boy.
Oh boy.
We're going straight into the action. No tickles, no nothing. Here we go.
Nope. Straight into it, man. Straight into it. So, you guys know. If you guys don't know out there, Queen Studios dropped this last night, right? This is a life-size Terminator 2 bust, man. I mean, this thing looks fucking. What do you think, Hector? You read about it.
It's filet mignon, bro. Oh man, it is so good. And I don't, I never collect busts, but this might be my cherry popper right here, dude. This is just too much. Oh man. And look at that. Look, I'm right.
No,
look how perfect I look. This is fantastic right here. Look at this. The wrinkles. You got the nostrils flaring. I'm looking right at you guys.
I mean, seriously, right? I mean, dude, I don't know.
Man. It's great, man. Is there a price yet? Do you know?
Yeah, it's about $5,000 with like a $1,700 deposit.
All right, either I'm gonna open up a Kickstarter, or I'm gonna have to visit a lot of sperm banks. Something's gonna happen. I gotta have this, man.
Yeah, dude. No, I'm. Yeah. So there's 200. They did 299.
Okay.
And I don't know when it's gonna go up, dude. But
a completely missed opportunity to make a 829 for August 29th, because that's when Judgment Day happens.
You're right. You're fucking right, man. I know, Bloomer, you're totally. This is not even like, but do you have any thoughts on this fucking piece?
This would be something I consider when I move in with my lady and I'm, love shack type shit. Because right now, no, I do not have the space for something like this. But just looking at it, this man, is that real leather? Did they say this was real leather? Like,
I'm
this
pretty
feels
sure
like
for $5,000, that's a real leather jacket.
That has to be a real leather jacket. My lord. And I think there was a picture on the back. It looked like a 6-scale figure hanging from his back, man.
Dude, yeah, bro.
I mean, into the lava. This is, oh my God, man.
Shit.
Yeah, and looking at it, I was looking at it today. Yeah, I saw that scene. I was like, oh, that's so awesome. And the bus is so good that I just keep forgetting that there's also a little Arnold coming in from the future right in the front. So it's telling you the whole story pretty much of the movie. And when I saw that, I freaked out. Like, I literally go, holy shit, it's a naked Arnold in the front of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, this is badass. I think like the front is like 12 scale and the back is like 6 scale. It's kind of
this,
dude.
I mean, if you are a Terminator fan of any of these movies, I mean, especially the ones, the good ones, this is a piece to get. I know some of us are 6-scale collectors and we like to keep it there, but I know there are a decent amount of you maybe in the chat that also mix their scales in and go larger. I mean, you can't miss with this piece. Look at this. Look at this.
So good. Oh, so hold on. So is little Arnold removable then?
Yeah. He can just be placed there. So nice. I mean, dude. I mean, this is fucking. I don't even know, dude. I don't even know, man. Like, I know you want it. I want it. I don't even know if there's a way to get it, dude. I mean,
there really isn't. Short of like selling my kidneys, man. I mean, oh man.
I mean, I could sell all my fucking Terminators, but I mean, that would.
I mean, yeah, I could just sell my entire collection, just be happy with this one bust. I'm like, yeah.
Yeah, I know, and I wouldn't really want to do that, right? But I mean, fuck, guys. I mean, this is badass. I had to talk about it, guys. I know it's not normally, I usually don't get into busts, but it's Arnold, dude. It's Terminator, dude. I mean, this is like exactly Justin, once in a lifetime.
You can just hear the music just looking at that scene.
Oh yeah, dude. I would have a speaker in the back of this thing and just continuously.
You know what you could do? Some of you already have it. Some of you might already have the pieces for it, and some of you might have gotten customs. You can put Linda Hamilton and John Connor, like literally like right there at that molten lava base. I mean, like you can get something up there, a little gate or stuff. You can have your figures kind of interact with this too. So if you do have 6 scale figures, there's a level of interactivity with this bust piece that you usually normally don't get with busts. So I think that seeing it from a 6 scale collector's mindset, I think this is awesome as well. It's got variety to it.
How heavy do you think this thing is?
I don't know, but it's pretty heavy. And I think this is fucking animatronic too, isn't it? Doesn't the head move?
Whoa, wait a minute. I did not know that part.
I could be wrong,
a product description? I know the people are saying in the chat that when is this going for pre-order, or is it coming in 2 days? Like this I don't know if that's information has been said.
Spec Fiction's pre-order starts Monday.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, wait, I don't think I can get this. Hold on, I have a commitment. I'm sorry.
Oh, yeah, that's in October.
I'm
out already.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Yeah, exactly, dude. Oh, fuck, man. I don't know, dude. I honestly, I'll address this really quick though, man. Christian, my man, does any of you guys have the Bat-Pod and Tumblr? I'll tell you if so, which one do you guys prefer? I don't have either.
Depends on what you want. I mean, the Tumblr takes up a lot less space, obviously. Not the Tumblr, I'm sorry, the Bat-Pod obviously takes a lot less space, but the Tumblr is cool. So I mean, just depends on what you want, man. I mean, if you got both Begins and the Dark Knight, just get both. Screw it, man. You only live once.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point, man. But I mean, yeah, the Bat-Pod's a lot smaller. It's a smaller footprint. I mean, it just depends on which one you really want, man.
And it depending on the Batman figure, like some of them won't really go on it well and stuff like that. So you might have to actually, if you don't have the DX19, you actually might have to get the DX19 to go with the current Bat-Pod. So
yeah, there we go. Orlando Rails, what's up, man? I finally saw Terminator 1 and 2. Now I truly understand.
I'm glad you understand, seriously, because it is 2 of the greatest cinematic masterpieces out there.
It is. They are, man. They are. CT says, why? What is wrong?
This guy, bro.
October purchases. Listen, so all right, like I'll bring that back for a little bit. Well, so all right, so in the Discord we got kind of a little bet going that in October, no pre-orders, no purchases, no nothing. Who can get through October without doing anything? So I'm already itching, bro. It ain't even October yet. I'm like, I don't know. But listen, man, if this is the only time and I could get this, I'd be like, whatever. I'll lose the bet. I'll lose the bet for this Arnold, bro. But no, I don't know. I don't know, man. But yeah, dude, fucking, I don't know what we're supposed to do with this.
If I ever came across an armored car and it started going forward and a bag of 5K fell out of the thing, I'll be the first one to go, guys, I'm out. That's
dude, that would be fucking hilarious, man. I don't know, man. Have you guys heard the theory that Terminator and Matrix are the same universe? I heard something like that. There was like an interview or something along the like. That was a long time ago, though. I don't quite know. Sorry, I was getting a message there, but I don't know. But anyway, guys, I don't know. Look, this $5,000. It's limited to 300 pieces. Fuck, man. I doubt. I'm not even gonna put a poll in the chat because I don't know anybody who's really gonna get it. I think Delkinator's like really wanting to get it, but I don't know if he's confirmed that or not. And I know, Hector, you're still on the, yeah.
Maybe it'll still be available in November. We'll see.
Yeah, well, maybe. Rock Among Chris, though, my dude, $10 super chat, dude. Thanks so much, brother. Says, I feel like every 6-scale collector should have something like this as a centerpiece, a bust or sizable statue to make a statement. I'm happy for any of you guys who get it. Well, my man, dude, thank you so much, man, for the super chat, brother. As always, Yeah. But you're right. Like having something like that is like really fucking.
I agree.
Mix it up, right? Mix it up. I mean, I don't know. Well, I mean, Hector. I mean, you got a mask over there. You got some things big. Mixing scales is always. And I talked about that Monday actually when I had Mondo on the stream, guys. If you didn't watch that Mondo stream, that was awesome, man. Me and Peter and P-Rock were riffing, but I mean, a lot of people we asked, how, do you mix scales? And the majority of everybody was like, yeah, man, I don't just have 6 scale. You know what I'm saying? So having some big pieces like that, whether it's a bust or even a vehicle,
it's a commitment. It is a commitment. You have to be like, all right, I got to measure out some space, make some space somehow. It is a straight up commitment. So
it is, dude. It absolutely is, guys. But I guess we'll wrap on that one, man, because that's just, I wanted to talk about it, man, because when I saw this, I was like, holy shit. I mean, but then, maybe that could make, it's Queen Studio, but InArt could probably, is it out of the wheelhouse of InArt doing 6 scale Terminator? I don't
know how the licenses work. I guess licenses are individual per scale, but if this is what's going to get the foot in the door for 6 scale, give it to me.
Dude, I'm in. If they drop that,
a 2-pack, make it whatever grading system it is, whatever, I will pay it. Yeah.
Well, because they're doing the con starts in like 2 days, right?
I think,
it's like a countdown.
If they're going by their time zone, I think we're going to start seeing some shit tomorrow, but if not, Monday for sure.
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking too, man. But Batman Collectibles, thank you so much, my man, for the $5 super chat. There's a caved, my hopefully one and only statue next year, the Prime 1 Blitzway Batman 89 only. Did not do the 2-pack with Keaton Wayne. Wanted 89 as a centerpiece. Dude, well, thank you so much, man, for the super chat, brother. And you know what, dude? That's not a bad decision. Because, I looked at those two and I was like, oh, shit. And then you're like, well, do you need a Keaton? Maybe not, right? At the end of the day, right, you got an 89 Batman standing there, 3rd scale. I think that's enough, right? That's enough, I think, to be, to show, hey, this is my love. This is fucking 89 Batman. Then you're like, oh, God, here's another 3rd scale, Bruce Wayne. There's some that are doing it, obviously. But I think that's a good call, man, because, dude, statues take up a ton of space. And that's representation enough, I think.
That's a great first statue, to be honest, man.
Dude, it's a fucking great first statue. Probably, it may not be your one and only, though, because once you kind of, get into that, you're like, oh, shit. But the problem with statues for me anyway is scales, I'm more comfortable now, now that I sold off the 3rd scales that I had, I'm more comfortable with 1/4 scale statues. And the problem with that is there's just like Hot Toys in a sense, there's not a lot of consistency, right? So like I got the 1/4 scale Ripley coming, but then they put out 3rd scale Terminator stuff. And I'm like, fuck, like,
yeah,
like you give me the things that I want all in 1/4 scale, and I think I'll feel a little more comfortable in that sense. But speaking of all of them, right, with with Queen Studio and InArt, should we talk about this too? Because
we sure can.
I know you and Bloomer were like, oh shit, this is the what is this called?
I think it's, if someone's in the chat's going to correct me, I think it's rhodium. I think that's their highest grade.
Yeah,
rhodium, I believe.
Something like, I forget the names. I forget the names.
Yeah,
right?
I forgot they had like put a thing out where it's like all tiered in terms of like, I guess that's like the amount of effort they're putting into each individual product. That's very interesting in itself. But yeah, this came through the wire late in the morning, and we were just all kind of geeking about this because we've already got some third parties of this guy, but to get a premium version of, what's his name in the movie? Arthur Fleck?
Arthur Fleck, yes.
Yep.
Yes,
Yep.
A premium version of Arthur Fleck, which blew up. Hector, you can tell it better than anybody. When this movie came out, this was like, there were memes everywhere. This movie was everywhere. And Joaquin Phoenix, of course, we know him from all these different movies in the past. He is just fantastic as an actor. So I'm excited to see the sequel. I don't know about you guys with Lady Gaga, what we hear so far. I'm excited to see that. And this seems to be right on time for a lot of that stuff. It seems like we're getting multiple looks as well. So, wow.
Just in time for Joker 2, which I think is coming out next year, if I'm not mistaken. And yeah, I mean, looking at these pictures, man, right here, there's a lot of speculation about exactly what it's going to be. Is it going to be a 3-pack, or is it going to be like 2 bodies and just multiple head sculpts and stuff like that? Because you got the everything must go clown to the left over here. Then on the far right, if you look closely, he's got wet bangs, which could mean it's the infamous scene in the bathroom where he's starting to embrace the Joker side of him and stuff like that. That hasn't really been done at all. So far, the third parties have just tackled the clown, normal Joker, and Arthur Fleck, which I'm kind of shocked we don't have a normal Joaquin Phoenix sculpt with this, because you would probably want the whole shebang.
Right, they all look painted, so...
Yeah, so, yeah, like, it's, you know, I know John from InArt has said that due to the licensing agreements when it comes to merch with this movie, that it has to be like something really premium. Why you've only seen busts and like statues and stuff like that of this character. So I don't really know how much this will be. I doubt it will be $1,000, because if the 2-pack Joker was $1,000, this has to be way more. So
yeah, it's gonna be a lot, man. And you know, and just to clarify, and thanks again, Bob, man, for refreshing my memory on this, that there's 4 tiers, right? So they're saying that this is the highest tier. This is the highest tier, and so the Ledger Joker was tier 2, and Aragorn is tier 3, and Gandalf was also supposed to be a tier 1. So essentially, we're looking at I don't think Gandalf is tier 1, is it?
No. Well, tier 1, according to this, tier 1 is the rhodium.
Yeah. So I don't know, but that Gandalf definitely I wouldn't suspect, right? I think that might just be
Pennywise. Which one was he? Was he in?
I don't know. This is just kind of what they had announced there. So
Superman, I believe Superman, Gandalf, Pennywise, and Aragorn are both the tier 3, I believe.
Okay. Uncarded is saying it was silver. And
okay,
Daniel saying ag. Okay, so I was gonna say there's no way. Yeah, I was like, no. So that's that's fucked up, man, right? The price of the highest tier will bring many tears. Yeah, dude, for sure. Dante also in the house. What's up, my man, dude? Hello everyone. This might be my first bust. Dude, I'm telling you, man, that Terminator bust is fucking, it's pulling at all of us, bro. It's pulling at all of us.
My bust will make you bust.
Yeah, well, okay, so look, it's funny, man. So that's an interesting point, though, right? That CT had just brought up as well, man. Great, I live in North America. What are my chances of being able to get this, right? And that's the thing, right? Because we were already, there's people even right now that are like, oh fuck, I didn't get the Gandalf, or and it's shipping or sold out. Same with Aragorn. If Lord of the Rings was your thing, the point is people are trying to, those who may not know about it right away, this or that, and they're trying to get figures. And yes, InArt's going to have some global distribution licenses, right? But this one I doubt is. So I don't know if we're just speculating on that at this point, but
it would be
said anything.
Since this is going to be, like they said, this will be a limited piece. I don't know how many pieces it's going to be, but it definitely, I think it's going to be their first limited, again, because of the license rights that this figure has attached to it. It would be nice if during that little convention thing that they're showing this off at is like, hey, this is going to be not the second North American figure that's going to be, available to us. The Dune one will be available to us for some reason. But it'll be nice if they
Michael Jackson as well.
Yeah, so it'll be nice if we got this one too, because if it's going to be limited, it's going to be a total nightmare trying to pick one of these up.
That's the whole point. And like, granted, I know we can buy it. We can get we can get it everywhere, just like everybody else. Right? We can go to Spec Fiction, we can go to Kit, we can go to other places that are carrying them, TNS, etc. Right? So, but. See, here's the thing, Cameron. So the InArt tier thing is basically either like limitability or like more premium than the last tier, like way more accessories or way more features, maybe double or triple pack, just higher tier, but that's the problem with this, right? Because if you're saying this is definitely gonna be over $1,000.
Oh yeah.
Well, I'm almost certain. So the problem is, as to CT's point out, was that what's going to prevent people from getting this overseas first, scalping it? How quick is this going to go? Because to our understanding, it's extremely limited. And I remember John saying that on the show as well when I had him on. This is going to be a very limited piece. So is this going to be all fucking gobbled up like within a day or two or a week? And then, yeah, how does that work for us? You know,
and here they go targeting us with another very popular character from a somewhat recent license, DC once again, and it's Joker. And here we're going to be, I hope, I hear a lot of, rumblings about spec fiction and what they're going to, what they're proposing in terms of getting it into the hands of North American collectors. But that's just the issue with this right now. It's like this, even through these little things, it looks great, but I'm really focused on how do people like us, how do we get our hands on this? Because it's obvious you're targeting us, but you've got to quote unquote smuggle it into my country. So it's really difficult right now until they figure out how to get this streamlined into America. We're always going to have these questions, and that's always going to affect our experience. Even when we do get these figures in our hand, we're like, man, I went through all this crap just to get this figure. It shouldn't be like that.
No, I agree. And I think that, given them the benefit of the doubt, I don't think they want that way either. I think just as a new company, this is these are the licenses they were able to obtain, and whether or not that was just an Asian license for some figures, a global license for others, that's just how it's gonna be, right? I mean, there's always gonna be that challenge until I think they get to where they need to go, right? Until they can prove whatever their agreements are with licensors, right? So, and then eventually we'll get there, right? I mean, but for now, yeah, you're right. I don't think it's their intention at all. It's just, it is what it is, and it sucks because, just like Blackbird Tech here, so they'll pop up in secondary market, but it's going to cost you. That's that sucks as a collector.
And we all know how much that shipping cost fiasco was with the first Joker. Like, it was just like you're talking like some resellers bumping it up another extra $100. And if this is going to be 3 figures and dioramas or whatever it is, that thing's going to be a tank. So yeah, we're probably looking at it. If it's $1,500, expect to pay at least $1,700 for sure. That's a lot of fucking money, dude.
Dude, that's a lot of fucking money. That's the down payment for that Terminator bus.
Pretty much, yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, it's tough, man. It's tough, man. Shout out to 𝗕𝗏𝗘 though. What's up, my man? 𝗕𝗏𝗘, my dude in the house. Distribution challenge for Phoenix Joker. Deja vu. Well, yeah, it's gonna happen. It's it's bound to happen until I think they can solidify more global licensing. Because who knows, man? In a year from now, that could very well change, right? I mean, I'm very interested in seeing what's going to happen with Michael Jackson and what's going to happen with Jesus, my sideshow item is arriving late. I don't know, sorry, I just got an email. Don't know what it is. It's going to be, interesting to see Michael Jackson and like Paul Atreides, as
I don't know how it works up there, but maybe they just this is just pure conjecture from my mind. Maybe they just need that portfolio to show to distributors that will go give them the okay. They only have like 1 or 2 figures. They really don't have the leverage in that conversation. That's what I'm thinking. So just to try to, make a proposal to any type of distributor, they're gonna be like, well, are you proven? You only got 1 figure. Like, I think that might be their issue as well. It's just trying to get that portfolio.
Yeah, I would think that too, right? I mean, you're going into a new environment for you as a new company, and you, as always, anywhere you go for a job, right? I mean, anything in life, you got to prove yourself, man. Can you do it? Right? Can you make it good for us? Is everything smooth? Are you capable? Blah blah blah. And then as time goes on, they're like, oh, okay, cool. You've been doing pretty good. Okay, so that could very well be it. Not too sure. Yeah. So I don't know, man. Exactly.
This company has my money. They're making figures for me. The other company, it's great for everyone else, but I just don't collect those certain IPs. I just don't. So I'm missing out on a lot of the fun. Here comes a company that is actually doing the stuff that's in my wheelhouse, and look, man, they got me. I'm in. Well,
yeah, and you primarily collect DC.
DC, Schwarzenegger, yeah, man. Like the second they come out with a Schwarzenegger figure, it's like Yeah, here you go.
All of which that is neglected by Hot Toys. I'm only been around a year, and I can see like we have got nothing when it comes to a lot of that stuff. Cyborg took eons to come out, right? And so and I was excited for that Supergirl, and we got a lackluster preview for that. So it's a lot of things with DC and Hot Toys is just not meshing right now, and so I can understand collectors like my brother Hector here who are like, well, they're not feeding me exactly. I can't join in on this fun like you guys are with Star Wars and Marvel.
It's very minimal effort when it comes to DC, like very minimal. They're like, here's the Keaton, and then they teased us with like 6 different bat suits, and then no one went to go see the Flash, and now they just kind of pulled back on that, and it's like, you know, I was excited for that. Howard Chan, thanks, dude. You know?
I know, because I mean, it's been like, I don't even know how long it's been, dude. It's been at least 2 years, dude, where like we kind of have this running gag with you, man, with Hector, where I'm like, well, another release, another announcement, no DC, and you're like, damn it. So it's kind of funny. He'll probably be right back. But yeah, that is right. He mainly collects that. So, and Bloomer, like you said, you've been in it for about a year now, and you can see there's just not a lot of love there. So
yeah,
if another company's going to do it, then by all means, right? I mean,
yeah, I had to pick and choose when I was like, all right, well, I want this DC piece. I was looking for a lot of characters I grew up with, especially from Justice League Unlimited, like, you know, Martian Manhunter. I know we got that third party, but I wasn't intrigued with that. You know, Hawk Girl, Hawkman, right? A lot of those characters that were Green Lantern, right? We talked about this off screen before, but a lot of those characters I was looking for, and you know, those are really either, you know, in the smaller scale or in the larger scale. They're not in 6 scale right now at that point. So yeah, I had to really be picky and choosy when it came to that, but I understand where he's coming from. This is my wheelhouse, and I want to grow that. If not,
course.
Then I'm just gonna stay stuck here. I'm just gonna have the same figures for years and years and years, while all my friends are frolicking in the grass with their new figures and pre-orders. Like, I don't want that for him.
No, that's kind of how I've been feeling too, man. Because a lot of stuff, like, I'm very picky with Star Wars, you know. So it's got to be a specific Star Wars release where I'm like, all right, cool, I'm excited. You know, great. But whereas, you know, or Marvel even for that matter, like, I'm really digging the comic stuff, and I'm wondering if, which is actually a kind of a good way to bring this into, because we already looked at this Iron Man, right? But this is a quick turnaround one. This is one of those exclusives. So like, we've already had it prepped. They announced it a month ago. Boom. Now it's out. Now we've got these blogger photos. It would be interesting to see how far they go down this line, but I wanted to kind of chat about this a little bit, because you guys know me. I have the comic Origins, right? When they first launched that like 2 years ago, I was like, holy shit, they did that. They did War Machine, and then did the stealth suit. I did pick up the Iron Man. I was most likely going to get the War Machine, but then this shows up, and I don't know how I feel about it, because
I feel pissed.
Like a little bit, man, a little bit, because this is really like comic fucking.
That is amazing. I love this figure. I don't collect Iron Man, but I look at it and, you know, it is awesome. Yeah,
it's freaking great, dude. So, and it's die cast, so I'm like, oh shit, yeah, you know, of course. And these, obviously, shout out to the photographers as always. But I mean, this makes me wonder, like, okay, this is the comic book series, like, it's comic book masterpiece, just like, you know, Zombie Deadpool and Arena Fett. I mean, they have a line, and you know, even Comic Origins, it's the CMS line. So I wonder how deep they're gonna go on this shit. I mean, to be honest,
that's gonna do War Machine next. Then once they do War Machine, get past him, because they're gonna like basically bust their proverbial load on Iron Man first. We know that they're probably gonna do that, and then after that, I'm thinking like, what is the possibilities here? Like, people, you know, like yourself, like myself, we've had these conversations in the chat. People want comic, like, to the T, comic accurate characters. Like, they want these guys that, you know, these characters that are busting off the shelves, are busting literally off the pages. Like, that's what a lot of people want. So to see that this is being provided and this damn thing looks great. Like they even did like comic book stuff.
Yeah, dude, I love the photographer. Like it's fucking awesome. Like it. Yeah, but go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, this is just right more to my point. What I was just saying, it's like this is the essence of the comic. I had said this, and I'll reiterate. For those of you, we already have Street Fighter characters coming out in 1/6, right? We have more Capcom characters coming out by the day. Third-party people are doing different Capcom characters. Hell, we already have Chris from Resident Evil 5, correct? We have him in 1/6 scale, correct?
I think we do.
I think we have Chris. Yeah, from Resident Evil 5, Chris Redfield. I think we have him as a 1/6 scale figure. He was in Marvel vs. Capcom 3. So
Yeah,
you see where I'm going with this, like.
Yeah,
you can create those miscellaneous shelves that everybody has and doesn't want to talk about. You can really turn those into something there, right? Instead of just stashing figures that can't go on certain shelves, you can turn that into Marvel versus Capcom, or like with this figure right here is a good like a starter for that.
Yeah, man.
That was originally my idea, was to do kind of like a MVC type thing when I had the Iron Man, and then I thought, well, because Iconic, they're, I've got the Ryu, I got their Ken on order, I got Kuma. Like I was gonna do something cool like that, and it's just like, but again, I don't know, right? Because now, what if they do that, right? What if they do that classic comic Spider-Man, or like you mentioned, like are they gonna do War Machine next?
Well, hell, since like that MODOK, they might do a classic MODOK, and he might be in play.
Yeah. He might.
People weren't crazy about the Ant-Man one, but if you get a classic MODOK, I mean, come on now.
To piggyback off of Blackbird Tech's comment about Cap and Thor, they need to do it, and it needs to be in the vein of this classic theme, and then give us Ant-Man, and I think Hawkeye's on that cover. But dude, trying to recreate Avengers #1, woo, that cover,
dude, yeah,
that'd be awesome.
Yeah. But what irritates me is this was limited, right? This is limited to 1,500 pieces.
Yeah.
So,
are we getting this over here too through Sideshow? Because I don't remember any emails.
I think
or
so. They haven't
that.
Put anything out yet. So
I know they're like, look at our artisan, RSV the artisan, but I haven't heard anything about this. So.
Yeah, I haven't seen anything about it yet officially on Sideshow, so it's just damn, dude. So that means Sideshow's probably not going to get much, and they're probably going to do that queue system again.
Yep, these are going to get their own day. I'm pretty sure this is going to be like, I think how they did it, right, with the Joker and then the Anakin. Like we had that on one day, and then we had the next day following, boom. So I think they'll do that with this, and then the Scarlet Witches.
Hashtag no dry runs.
No dry runs.
No
Shout
dry
out to
runs.
Dylan.
Don't
be
he's
not here today.
Don't be those dudes, bro. If you're not gonna buy this, don't waste your time. Don't screw people over now.
Yeah, definitely don't. That's what I would recommend, because there's gonna be people who want these types of items, man. So allow people to get in the queue. Don't just test it to see if you can get it or do it for whatever. Like, yeah, I would agree, because that sucks, right? Because who knows, there could be a hiccup. You're like, damn, I maybe could have got it, So I agree with you, man. I agree with you. But what makes it interesting though is that, we were talking about DC, talking about how they're not doing that. I mean, the Hot Toys could potentially do a DC line of comics as well.
Oh man,
for Green Lantern,
dude. And like my mind, there's infinite possibilities you can go with a comic line DC. You can go Golden Age, you can go Silver Age. Imagine, dude, oh man, if they ever was like for like some sort of anniversary of Superman and they came out with like a Fleischer Superman, oh my god, I would lose it. That would be so amazing,
dude. No, I listen. You think they're not going to do it? I mean, look,
no,
I get no, but listen. I'll tell you this. I don't think that would turn them off from doing a DC comic line. I think the issue is the DC movies have been all over the fucking place, and the reception's not been good, and it hasn't really been a very consistent universe compared to Marvel, right?
That's true, but this isn't movie though. That's what I'm saying. It's
this
like if they do a comic line, these things will fly off the shelf.
Well, that's what I'm saying. That's why I think Hot Toys would do a DC comic line. right? Because that's what I mean. Like they don't do a lot of DC figures because the DCU is fucking. Yeah, that's what I mean. But if you come out and say, "Hey, listen, here's a comic book Batman, right? Here's a comic book Green Lantern, fucking whatever," like that's gonna hit.
Yeah, give me gray, light blue trunks, oval. Give it to me, man. I want it,
dude. How freaking cool would that be, man? Death of Superman line, dude. Yeah, fuck.
That would be
Give
cool.
us a Doomsday.
Oh man,
that would be awesome.
A seamless body Doomsday,
dude.
That would be badass.
Yeah, I would end up doing that, dude. Where can you order this Iron Man? Because I can't find it anywhere. I want to order it. I don't know if anybody has it up yet. I didn't.
Wish.com.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't look. I didn't look overseas or anything yet. So, shit. Yeah, bro.
I would love those two. Like as much as we're getting, like, we do get a decent amount of like DC heroes. Like there's like a small smidget amount of DC villains. Like,
oh, we get nothing. Yeah, we get nothing. It sucks, man.
Yeah. The sad fact is that if trend follows, what DC villains would we get? We just get Batman's rogues like all over again. So instead of like, having a Sinestro, that'd be really cool. Sinestro, or a Lex Luthor, or a Brainiac, or something like that. Oh, give me Jack Kirby's New Gods Darkseid. Just give me that too, man. That would be amazing.
That would be freaking sweet. That would be sweet. But look, they're gonna do it, right? I mean, Arena Fett is comic book line, comic book masterpiece. So we have a Star Wars comic book line potentially, right? That's one so far. We've gotten about a handful of Marvel so far, comic book masterpiece. So DC is it's not far-fetched at all.
From doing that, what would be stopping them? Just because of the reception? Are they scared of the reception of these films? Like, where's the reticence there?
It would be cool if Hot Toys made like a Star Wars comic line in the vein of like the original 70s comic.
Yeah.
That would be pretty sweet.
That would be kind of cool. And they'd look all, specific to that era. Like that would be, we don't need those ideas right now.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm just saying, like light blonde hair farm boy Luke, that'd be awesome. Just saying, in 6 scale.
Yeah. No, I think it would. But anyway, I just wanted to bring that one up, guys. I know we talked about it a little bit earlier, but the bloggers' photos are out now, so I was like, oh shit, might as well kind of take a look at this, see what's what. But I want to kind of harken back, since we're talking about DC, and kind of touch on this again, kind of going back to InArt and BVS, man. I mean, do you feel like this is an interesting choice out of the three? Like, why wouldn't they do Man of Steel, or why wouldn't they have done Justice League? Or like, Hector, I know you're big into these, as you mentioned. Like, is this something that you think is the right decision for them and you're like all on board with?
Yeah, I'm totally on board. It would have been awesome to have a Man of Steel suit, because the Hot Toys is not really accurate at all as far as like some of the colors and stuff like that. And granted, controversial take, I think the colors are fine on this, but like there's a lot of people out there who wish it was a little bit more muted and all that. But I think the reason why they went with this is so that they can give us his other two companions to go with him too. I think this looks great. I'm glad they went this route, because as we all know, the Hot Toys BVS Superman is kind of showing its age and unfortunately showing its little brown stain on its chest. And this is going to be a real good upgrade to represent this movie, or to just represent Cavill Superman in general. I mean, I love this. I love the proportions. The thighs could be a little bit bigger. I'm glad this is not, paywalled behind 2 figures because of the capes. I'm glad that a company finally gave us a wired, a drape, and detachable. Like that's great in my opinion. I can't wait. I pre-ordered it like the minute it went up, and I'm just looking at the calendar, counting down the days, man. I mean, look at this sculpt. This is going to be the most accurate mass-produced Henry Cavill sculpt right here.
Yeah, I would think so. I heard some people not really digging it, but I just couldn't see how. and I know we could always say like art's, subjective. Some things, we like, other people don't. But when I look at that, I was like, people were like, oh, the head sculpt's kind of, I was like, are you kidding me? Like, I don't know. I think this is like the best fucking cowboy sculpt I've seen. So, but.
And they fixed it because everyone was complaining about it before, and then they went back and fixed it. And of course, people just need to complain. They're like, well, his look's not stern enough. I was like, dude, you can't have it all, bro. Like, they're listening to you, they're fixing it, but yet it's not good enough for you anyway. So.
No, dude. I mean, dude. So, I mean, and you have all of the Hot Toy ones, don't you?
Minus the BVS Superman. I unfortunately missed that one out. Like, it sold out. It was either choice between him and BVS Batman, and I just went with Batman. And then I was going to go back and get Superman, but he sold out. So, and I never really could get him because he was just always so overpriced, and still is to this day. People are still trying to, like, now that this one's announced, they're trying to sell that Superman at like $375, and I'm like, there's a brown stain on his chest, dude. Like, yeah, everyone get this, do it.
I agree. Let me. What do you think, Bloomer?
I think this is fantastic. I mean, the scope. I was really impressed by the quick turnaround. We saw the first scope, and people were like, oh, "Okay, that looks good," but they can definitely enhance it. And I think that was a couple weeks ago, right? That we first got a glimpse at this, and then now this one is by far probably the best Cavill scope that I've seen in 6 scale. I'm really curious about the body as well. I mean, the texture and materials, because I think Hot Toys did a good job with the suit and the texture in terms of how it fits over the body. But I think this one right here is a little bit more slim. It's probably going to be a little bit more forgiving. You'll be able to get those posts. One thing that I did not like about the Justice League Superman that I have, 2 things. It's one, the wrist pegs can be shown. If you do like a pose where he's like, maybe, doing something like this where his fists are up, like that thing is going to come down. So you're going to want to hide it. Also, his ankles show through the boots, right? And I hope that these guys saw that. We're like, okay, we want to make sure that the boot is a little bit more full, and when you do get that extension on the ankle, it doesn't like cave in, and you see that there's just nothing there padding it. So
yeah, that bunch has been plaguing this character in figure form forever, man.
Yes. So
yeah,
I feel like that is something when people talk about innovation, there you go, figure that out. And the last thing here is this like we were talking about, I was saying, man, if this is short hair rooted, I will be so excited. We get a small precursor to this.
they give you 0.5%.
Yeah, they give you a little bit. Like, well,
yeah.
Yeah.
It looks fantastic in terms of the implementation. It seems like it'll be able to hold on well.
I hope so, man.
But if it starts to fall off, we're going to have some issues. You guys should have just said, F it. Let's just
go all the way.
Yeah. So no, I agree completely. Big Brett also in the house. What's up, my man? He's like, this motherfucker trying to thread hijack.
The code is Big Bretta Amazing Spider-Man.
Yeah. I know what he's doing. That's awesome though. But yeah, bro. Shout out to Bretta Man out there, my dude. What do you guys think about this? The poll though. You think this is a cool idea?
Idea, execution, yeah. It eliminates the clamp. You no longer have to worry about it damaging their soup, even though they're saying that the material is going to be fine no matter what. My issue with it is that it's only going to be one floating pose. You want your Superman to have a dynamic. You want him hands out flying. You know what I'm saying? So I think this will be okay for the wired cape and stuff like that. This was one of the features where I was just like meh about when it came to this figure. It needs to be a little bit more dynamic. But as far as like the idea of just a peg, that's great.
Yeah,
I know a lot of people are like, well, why not magnets? I had the Black Transcendent that had the Destroyed Justice League base that came with the flight pole, and it was magnetized. You could put it on the back. After about 20 minutes, the figure would just fall off, and that's because over that time, maybe my copy had weaker magnets, but like I was guessing with the weight of the body, it was slowly just sliding off until it just went like that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure no one wants their $400 figure on a magnet, and InArt is so far doesn't have a great track record with magnets. So
yeah, I'm right there with you. Because you know there are going to be a lot of people. The majority of people might just have Soups in a very majestic pose, standing up, maybe one hand or two hands on his waist, and call it a day with a flowing cape and call it a day. There's going to be some that are going to want to try to achieve levitation or full flight poses. And with this character, with so many different iconic looks and phases to him, right? Whether he is punching somebody, flying, or levitating, people are going to want to capture that over time. Whether they do that when they first get him in or, in months or years later. My problem with this base is that it doesn't allow collectors who, want the full gambit of Superman. I'm not sure if you guys are going to be able to do that, and especially the horizontal. You're not going to be able to get that off. I 100% you're not getting that off. Mm-mm. But the levitations, there's further pictures. Probably Anthony will show us a little in a second here. There's further pictures of showing the levitation. You do get that. That is achievable here. But people are probably just going to swap this out because of their zipper concerns as well. Probably going to swap this out with a dynamic base.
Yeah, I would think so. But we'll have to see. But I would like to know Rob's opinion on this matter. What is up, Rob?
How are you? How are you, gents?
Hello.
We are doing good. Rob, late bloomer, Hector, Rob.
Hector, how are you?
Rob.
Good. I'm fantastic. How are you, Robert?
I am good. I'm glad we're talking about this figure. It's interesting to me that they went with the BVS figure because that was the one that was the hardest to get, right? Hot Toys wise.
Mm-hmm.
Which is interesting. But I like this figure. I don't know, is it fully refined yet? Do we know? Because they opened up their Facebook page for criticism, feedback, whatever. And I'm like, maybe they'll make it even better.
They have a track record of doing that. They've done it with Gandalf.
Yeah, I mean, when I saw the first time I ever saw InArt's figures, Justin from Justin's collection, Justin came out here to LA. I was going to go with him to Vegas, but I had a family thing pop up and I couldn't go at the last minute. But he was here in LA taking pictures of all of the InArt's toys, figures. So I held the Jokers, I held Gandalf, I held the Batman figures, I held the Aragorn prototype, and they're very impressive when you hold on to them. Like all of them, even the Bruce Wayne, I don't know what they made the jacket out of, but I didn't want to let go of it. I'm like, oh my god, this feels so good in my hand. And then even though the Aragorn figure was a prototype and they didn't show it in Vegas, it was an incredible figure, and they've continued to. And the reason they didn't show it was they were going to continue to make alterations and changes because it was a prototype, and they really are amazing figures. I mean, I don't have Gandalf yet, but I have the Jokers, and they're impressive, and I'm sure they're going to refine this and make it as perfect as they can make it.
Oh, dude, totally. And he looks freaking awesome.
I think it is too, but there's a lot of people that get in and they nitpick the costumes. And what I've always found interesting about that is, they make there's the stunt costumes that they have for superhero movies, and the stunt costumes aren't as necessarily refined as the hero costumes are. But would you call them inaccurate? Are only the hero costumes inaccurate? And there's changes that are made throughout. And when you get reference photos, sometimes you get reference photos that the companies get reference photos of the stunt costumes, which aren't as refined as the hero costumes. and everybody's looking at hero costumes or various things. I mean, this costume has been nitpicked to death. I mean, this figure has been nitpicked to death, which I understand. I mean, you want, but even between movies, the it's changed, and when you're looking at various pictures at various times, it's always interesting because people move, so there's always, when you have gallery photos, when they take gallery photos of the characters, they might not even be in the final version of the costume. There might be there might be continued
right. They're like promo shots, like pre
and things change. And the thing is that when they get into, like someone said, there's a metal undersuit and you see the metal shining through in a lot of shots, which is true. But a real person in universe, he wouldn't have a metal undersuit.
Right.
Because he's Superman. So if you're asking somebody, okay, we need it to be screen accurate because the character has a metal undersuit. I mean, Henry Cavill has a metal undersuit over the fabric. What you're asking a toy company to do is recreate something that isn't even real in the online version of the character. It looks a certain way on film, but they're not going to put a metal undersuit on a figure and then cover it with fabric. So what people are asking them to do is a production thing as opposed to being because the costume, if you take the costume off and hang the costume on a wall or on a hanger, it doesn't have that metal undersuit on it. So if you're taking an actual picture of the costume without the metal undersuit that goes underneath on the actor, it's going to look different than when it's fully on the actor. And so from an in-universe or figure perspective, I've seen people say, well, the reason it has this metallic sheen is because there's a metal undersuit. Well, the only way to recreate that then would be to put a metal undersuit on the figure. But in universe, because this is a character, if you think about it philosophically, it's supposed to be the in-universe character. It's not the production version of it. It's not the actor Henry Cavill with a metal undersuit on and a fabric suit over him. It's the in-universe Man of Steel. And I know that's a weird distinction to make, but a lot of people, when they're looking in terms of accuracy, what they're asking for is before the camera accuracy, and they're not. And this has always gone back to I build a lot of model spaceships, and when people say, like, do you recreate the model as it existed on, say, when you're painting the Millennium Falcon, do you make the Millennium Falcon look like it looked in the studio as a miniature, or do you paint it to look like the Millennium Falcon looked in the movie? So, like, what's the color of the ship? And it's an ongoing debate. TIE fighters are a perfect example. Do you paint the TIE fighter to look as blue-gray as it does when you're looking at the model? Or do you paint it to look like it looks on screen? Because they're not the same thing.
Yeah, well, that's a lot like like even with Star Trek, right? I mean, like you had like the set colored uniforms look different, right, on set than what
because they're under
like
different lights. Like Daniel says here, no one's asking for them to include a metal undersuit. I mean, if they can do that, though, why not? Because in universe, Superman isn't wearing a metal undersuit. So the actor's wearing a metal undersuit to make him look like the character on screen. But if you're thinking about the in-universe Kal-El that appears in Man of Steel and Batman v Superman, he doesn't have a metal undersuit. It's the Kryptonian fabric that just looks like that.
Correct.
So you can only do your best. So it's a philosophical question. When people want absolute accuracy, what exactly are you asking for? Are you asking for in-universe accuracy? Or are you looking for real-world actor wearing a costume accuracy? Because those are two very different things.
No, I agree. That's fucking great points on that. Because, like, for me, I look at it more like kind of like how prop collectors are, right? Like if you're collecting Star Wars props, for example, right? You're going to want all that, how it looked on set, down to all the nitty-gritty stuff, right? Versus universe stuff. Like for Superman, I'm like, no, I just want Superman. I don't need to know about all the behind the scenes stuff that took place, right? I mean, I don't know how many people are that way for figure collecting, but I definitely know there are, obviously in props. I mean,
Well, movie props, when you hold a movie prop for the most part, they don't look very good. They're not designed for close-up scrutiny. They're designed to work, on set. And a lot of props nowadays, they've made them look really, really good. But it's like when Master Replicas was making the Star Trek props from the classic series, which I have back there. They're as close to the real props as possible. But they're not made out of wood or anything. They're actually machine tooled metal. And the props weren't machine tooled metal. So when you hold a Master Replica's prop in your hand, the same was true of their lightsaber line. You wanted the lightsaber to feel in your hand the way it would have felt to Luke or Ben.
Right.
You don't want it to feel the way it felt like on set, because unless you want to buy that actual prop that was held in the hands of an actor, which I understand that's what prop collecting is all about. But if we as consumers, if I buy $1,000 replica of Rick Deckard's police gun from Blade Runner, I want it to feel like it's a real thing. I don't want it to be the fake prop that they made for the movie.
No, I totally feel that way, man. I mean, what do you? I mean, Hector, you're big on this as well, man. I mean, do you feel the same way, or?
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be hard to capture, a one-on-one into like this. And to be honest, the Hot Toys, I have trouble trying to light it for the metal body to really come out and show it too. So it's not like the Hot Toys, especially the black suit one, you could see the shininess, but it's not defined of like what people are expecting it to be. So again, everyone's showing photos, set photos, this and that. You have to consider, were these photos, in some way color graded to bring out that,
Yeah, and by the way, they were. I mean, you never see anything officially released from a studio that hasn't been treated and made to look a certain way. And that's true. The whole film is color graded. So the film is color graded to look like, it's really, I think it's a philosophical question.
Yeah. And in the film, yes, when there's dark parts, the suit looks really dark blue.
Yeah.
But when the light is on him, for example, the Batmobile, when Batman's turning the corner, or during the fight of Doomsday, when the choppers are up and the light hits Superman, that thing goes from like a dark blue to like this type of blue. So again, lighting is all about it. I know people are just wanting what they see on the screen on their shelves, but isn't this also part, you want the realism part too? Like, wouldn't you, I like to take pictures of my figures and I try to light it and try to color grade it to match what I see on screen. But it's also nice to have what's on my shelf, what the actors and the crew saw, so
right.
It's coming through the suit. It's right there. This is the same as the Hot Toys, guys. You have to shine a light. Look, it's shiny. That's what you get with the Hot Toys. My Justice League Superman, it has the same exact thing going on. So,
well,
I guess people like to complain. So
I think it's the only way to get that for the light to bounce off. You have to do that metallic suit to get that effect. Practically, when it comes to 1/6 scale and figure design, I think that's where we're at when it comes to that. Because I feel like as though if you tried to paint this and try to get that reflective light on top of the suit, it's not going to come off right. I think the best way to do it is to have it underneath and kind of poking through.
Well, and the funny also, it's not 1-to-1.
Exactly.
So there's nothing on the figure that's going to look at it. There's nothing on this figure, nothing that's going to be completely accurate to the suit, because everything is 6 times bigger. So so even the fabric, the way it's stitched together, when you shrink things down, they just don't look the same. You can't even have as much metal shining through because there isn't literally as much space in the fabric as there would be in 6 scale. I mean, in a 1-to-1 scale. And that's why when I listen to people bitch about, and I understand you want it to be as accurate as possible, but some people, they want it to look exactly like a picture they have. And I'm like, that picture is 6 times bigger than the figure. And you're asking 2 various different sizes to look completely exactly the same. which is an impossibility.
Yeah.
It can't be done.
No, I agree. I agree. I mean, there's always going to be that, on both sides. It is very like philosophical kind of point, right? Because I look at it like kind of like what Force man. It's like I don't give a damn. Just give me the.
Well, yeah,
there's
no,
some who
true.
don't, right? But there's some who do, and it's like.
But it's
Sorry,
funny when you get into the having these arguments with people. My argument is that it's not a 1-to-1 scale figure.
Yeah.
So how can it be? You're asking a 1/6 scale figure to be exactly the same as a 1-to-1 scale figure, which by definition it could never be, because it's 6 times smaller. So
I think it's just people just like to complain. Example, the picture that we showed earlier of the walking Joker figure. I already saw a complaint like, oh, they need to fix the hairline. I was like, really, dude? That's what you got out of this? Like,
right?
Come on, man.
Yeah, and not only that, in a movie, the hairlines, as much as they try and get it accurate, if you're wearing a wig or something, it's never going to look the same, exactly the same every time.
Yeah,
there's movement, there's change.
I'm gonna blow everyone's mind right now. Ben Affleck, between all 3 of those Batman movies, as Batman as Bruce Wayne, he wore a wig. That wasn't his real hair. That's a wig.
Oh,
he wore,
and he looks different in every one. His face looks different. So if you want a face sculpt, every time Ben Affleck has appeared as Batman, his faces look different.
Mm-hmm.
There's probably a weight gain between the muscle he put on, between what he ate that morning, and people's appearance changes every single day to a certain degree. And we're asking that somebody who creates a face sculpt, that sculpt is representative of every single frame of a movie. And it's a weird.
Yeah, that's way too.
Well, but it's something that I think collectors aren't. What you want, I think, is you want a character, you want a figure that most evokes what that character appeared like on screen, not in a pose, but moving. What is that? And you, by definition as well, a human being is moving all the time. Your internal organs are moving, your blood is pumping. Your face, you're never still. Your eyes are moving, you're blinking. There's never a moment in anyone's life where they're absolutely, completely still while their body isn't in motion. And yet, we as collectors are complaining when a figure is static, which by definition is something that a human being never is. Right. So when you're looking at a figure, you're looking at something that is impossible to really exist in the human world.
Yeah.
And yet we judge, like, face sculpts that's why, it's really interesting when someone sees like someone with an expression on their face, like that expression on Superman is that other head sculpt's awesome. I don't think anyone complained about that head sculpt.
Yeah.
Because they captured a perfect moment in time, because what Henry Cavill did at that moment was actually hold a face pose. He actually, and then because he had to, because it's an effect shot. Mm-hmm. So they needed him to, and while he can move around, that was something you can capture because that was actually a still moment. So it's easier to capture that sculpt.
Yeah, dude, totally. I
that
mean,
man, go ahead. I was going to say that man, when I first saw that, when Man of Steel released and they first showed that shot of him against the bank vault, the safe or whatever, when they first released that first promo shot.
Oh yeah.
I didn't know who Henry Cavill was. I never watched, was it the Tudors he was on?
Yeah.
So in my opinion, Henry Cavill looks like a Spaniard man right there. He doesn't look like the beautiful British man that he is. So I was like, oh, and then when I saw the movie, I was like, oh, this guy looks different. And then it's also in the promo pictures. There's just for BVS, like where he's standing, he just doesn't look like this. Like the guy's facial structure changes image by image and stuff. Yep. So I think InArt did great with this sculpt, or both sculpts. So
I do too.
Yeah.
And there's people. Here's another thing I love. People are complaining that you've got sculpted hair, but then a piece of this hair that's hanging down. So if you're talking about accuracy, how can you talk about accuracy when you're allowing sculpted hair. Like that's it's sculpted hair is not. There's I can promise you this: never in any moment of Batman v Superman, Man of Steel, Justice League did Henry Cavill have sculpted hair on his head. He never did. He always had real hair. It was slicked down with some kind of product. He never had sculpted hair. So if your first complaint is sculpted hair, then you have to ask yourself, okay, what? Now I understand I'm being kind of a dick when I say that, but when people complain and you listen to these complaints, it gets so tiresome after a while because you're asking something to look perfectly accurate that is not accurate at all to the actor or the costume at all. It's a recreation at best in a different medium, in a different size. And they can only ever approximate it. They can't make it perfect.
No, exactly. I mean, because we hear that a lot often, in just the collecting community. People are always, it's always, I mean, Bloomer, I mean, I know you've seen it as well. I mean, every time something comes out, there's always someone's like, oh, well, I don't know, and it's...
Yeah. Like
By the way, kudos to having
always...
the Batman Blu-ray set. I love that box.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, it's great.
There's, always going to be people sharing their opinions, and it's always great. But when you toe the line between, just, complaining to complain and not, allowing, we should always add value with the words that we choose. Like if we're going to give critiques, allow it to be something that person can take and grow from. Because if you were in that situation, you would want the same thing. Totally. I would want honest, heartfelt feedback. Because if you want my product to be the best, and if you're a consumer, we should all be working together to get to that finish line, right? And
that's very well said, sir. Yeah. That really well said.
And that's how the only way we can do that is through actual maturity, right? Conciseness with our words in a lot of these places, whether that be Facebook, Instagram, or wherever we are sharing our thoughts. And we are, let's just not throw the ire. That's where they're going to just turn it off and then go the other way. Same with any company that we talk about is giving that healthy feedback because we want that company to grow. That should be the intention always.
Oh, 100%. I think Rob might have accidentally clicked something. I do have a $5 super chat though from Carlos with his fucking troll ass. How you doing, man? Hey, Bobby, it was nice staying up with you till 3 a.m. to discuss figures. Thanks, man. Yeah, you're welcome. Let me know what alternate universe that was, but I fucking appreciate it, brother, man. I appreciate it, bro. Let's see what happened with Rob. I don't know what happened. See if we'll reconnect, but
it's a vicious cycle, bro. Everyone just bitches and complains about the figure in pictures, and then when they finally get it in hand, they're like, you know what?
Every time.
Yep.
I've seen it in 1 year every time. Like March. That looks like a Marvel Legends. December. Yeah, I picked that up at 1/6 kit for about $250. Here's my code. Every time. Yeah, I mean, so it's just hold off, man. Just relax.
Yeah, that's what I'd say. Because I mean, and look, and if we talk, in the chat, everybody out there as well knows, like, InArt will do things. They've updated stuff. So who knows? Yeah. Who knows if they're gonna, we're gonna see another one where it's gonna,
They improved the Aragon according to community feedback. They did change the cape material for the Pattinson Batman coming out. They worked on the suit a little bit more. Yeah, I mean they're doing it. They're doing it, unlike some other people out there who are just like, here's this, here's that, see you later.
There we go. Wasn't sure what happened there.
It's because Late Bloomer threw the ire at him, so he left. He dodged.
Oh.
No, I was really appreciating what Late Bloomer was saying. So, but no, we still want. Look, I just want to point out that we all want the best looking versions of figures that we can get.
Yeah,
especially when you're paying $500. And you look at their Gandalf figure. That's an incredible figure, and I thought the Heath Ledger Jokers were incredible too. But there's things on the Superman costume that are easy. You can point to that and go, You know, whether
Something
it's
needs a little
whether it's the muscles or the arms or things that you can go. That's
the Kryptonian language that's on the bicep. It needs to be raised up to here. Right now, it's like in the middle of the bicep, but really in the suit, it's more up towards the shoulders. But that's really it. So, but
and see, you would know that though, Hector. Like, and that's not a bad thing, right? But like when someone's very passionate about a certain IP or whatever, and you notice all those details, that it's crazy that sometimes even these companies don't.
Dude, there's people complaining. There's people complaining that the collar of the suit is too straight, that it needs to be like a V. And I'm like, you didn't really notice that until you saw a picture of the suit. Okay, right. Like it's not like you're looking at that during the movie going, man, that's a nice V-shaped neck you got there, sir.
Well, like what about Vader in Star Wars Empire and Jedi? You know, the even the front plate of his armor, the electronics. You've got Hebrew and Jedi that wasn't there in New Hope. So it's like, so what is the definitive version of? I guess you have to pick it by movie, but like when did Vader one day go, I think I need some Arabesh writing here, I need my armor changed. And there are people like, okay, so to me, Darth Vader has one armor. It just depends on what version of it you want. Do you like the polished version that he has in Jedi? Because that's not the same version he has in A New Hope. Right. So what do you decide to do? And then if it's I don't think of Darth Vader in the course of Star Wars Jedi and Star Wars Empire and Jedi as changing his armor. It did change, but like, does a knight in shining armor, if you're one of the knights of the Round Table, you have a suit of armor made. That's a suit of armor you pretty much wear till you're dead. Or unless it gets damaged, you have to like fix it. And
everyone wants to put their own little canon behind why he's changing armor, when in reality, it's just the helmet was more comfortable for David Prowse to wear. Right. So. But then you have to come out with the explanation and
you need like an in-universe reason of why this is different, or then you get fan theories. Or
in Batman in BVS, clearly Lois gave Clark different hair care products to use to gel his hair. So,
and then he gave her one of his own.
Yeah.
I hope so. But but that's a question too. You're like, okay, this is the BVS Superman, and I've noticed that a lot of people are they just looking at the BVS suit? Was the BVS suit changed from Man of Steel? Sure.
And there's nothing canonical about it. Zack Snyder came out and said, we just improved the suit from the first movie. That's it. That's the reason why.
That's it. That's it. And so then you have to ask yourself, okay, well, how is it supposed to look on this figure? Well, I guess because it's the BVS version, you have to look at that as canonical.
Yeah, and it's funny though, because you guys are right. Things change, right? Okay, you get a new movie, you start a new IP or whatever, in the case of Star Wars, or even Man of Steel to BVS. They go, oh, you know what? Let's change this a little bit. Sometimes marketing, but a lot of times it's like you mentioned, like this actor's comfortability, or they've upgraded. They were like, hey, we could have done this better. So this time around, let's make it better. Let's streamline it, or this or that. Right. And then before you know it, you got 5 different versions. I don't know.
I was at Universal yesterday, Universal Studios, and I was in their costume department filming 2 of our episodes of Designing Hollywood, and I went into this room where all of Tom Cruise's Oblivion leather jackets were, those white outfits with the Tet logos and stuff on them, and some were stunts, and all of them were kind of different. You look at them and because they're bespoke, made for the movie. And there's little subtle differences. And
hey, listen, these things are all made by human beings, and to expect 100% accuracy from a human being, I just think that's unrealistic. I take the inaccuracies on the chin, because I know that these are human beings trying to mass produce stuff, right? And there's always going to be some compromise. Like, nothing's going to be 100%. Like,
and they're not 6 scale.
Always do that. Yeah.
They're 6, so they're not 1-to-1 scale, so they can't. By definition, they can't be accurate.
Yeah.
They
No,
can
I'm
just
with
be
you.
recreations in a different scale.
As long as it's a fine representation of what you saw in that medium, right? Whether that is a comic book, whether that is a movie or a TV show. If it looks like that thing has walked off the screen or walked off the page, they did the job. There's always going to be like, it's always going to be that, regardless. And then you might have one or two figures that are like, oh, this is fantastic. But we can't.
Yeah,
that's,
but it's
not sustainable. It never is. Nothing in life is that sustainable.
No, exactly right, man. It's just like Jedi Knight, man. What's up, dude? What's up, Graham? How you doing, man? He said none of these figures, yeah, exactly, 100%. And that's the thing. Like, I don't know how many we've had over the years. Never have they been like 100% accurate, right? We want them to get as close as we can, of course, right? But like, as long as it's not like so far out, at least that's for me. I think is if you're like 80-90% accurate, like I'm cool with that. But it's also, I guess, because, you know, we grew up with, we had like
Mego.
Migos.
Look at those gloves
and tenors and yeah. So I'm like, to me, and I'm not. They do a great. I mean, fucking look around, all you guys. Just look around your rooms. I'm like, I'm quite happy, man. You know what I mean? I'm not. Again, that's just
Dude,
me.
I grew up on a little dirt road, man. And little nothing, Rob, you probably know, little nothing, Paris, California. Okay, little small town.
Where the airfield is?
Where the airport is, where they shot Bucket List with
yeah, man,
Jack
I'm like
Nicholson
20 minutes from there.
Yeah. So yeah, exactly. So Little Paris, California is where I grew up, and
Coffee date.
There's so there's really nothing to that place, and you know, growing up, was kind of isolated from a lot of shit. And so the toys that I did get, whether that was Dragon Ball Z or little Spider-Man toys, they were miles away from this stuff. And growing up, I dreamt of having stuff. I can pull out a 6-scale Spider-Man right now that looks 100 times better than the stuff that I had when I was 11. And I'm grateful for that. I'm grateful that I live in a timeline where I can press click and put that in my cart and receive that within a week.
Right.
You know, people die every day. The people get sick every day. You're not promised tomorrow. As much as you got those pre-orders in your Excel list,
oh, dude,
you are not promised those pre-orders.
That's one of my great fears. After my death, are all the boxes that are going to show up that I didn't get to open.
So live your life, man. Live your life. Chill out. Smoke some weed. Drink some beer. Whatever you do, collect happily, because there's enough shit in this world to be pressed about. And toys should be
happily is a great
thing.
tagline.
It is.
We should all get T-shirts that say "Collect happily."
Collect happily. Hell yeah.
I'm gonna get one that says not accurate.
Hell yeah.
Not canonical.
That's fucking awesome, man. Dude, shout out to Jay, brother Cousins, my man. He could not be here tonight, man. He's
man,
under the weather. So, man, thoughts, man, for brother Cousins, man, for a speedy recovery. I hope you're feeling better, man. And you will obviously likely be here next week, but yeah, man, appreciate at least Jay, you know, showing up in the chat, man. Hope you're feeling better, man. Get some rest, dude. I know you're not feeling too hot, man, but yeah, dude, fucking A, man. Give this man. Yeah, and it's true. It's 100% true. You know, I love what we have, dude. I couldn't be happier. Honestly, I couldn't be happier. I want to know what figure you would take to the afterlife with you.
That's a good one.
Dude, I don't know.
You know what I would take?
Hmm.
I would take my X06 Admiral Kirk. Just because of what Kirk's meant to me in my whole life.
Damn.
You know, and
I would have said Picard.
And if St. Peter or God stopped me and said, "So, what's with the action figure here in heaven?" If assuming I'm there, other places it would probably melt. But I'm like, I would have a good explanation to explain how this little IP, this franchise meant so much to me in all the different phases of my life and made me want to do better and create and move forward. All of that. Or I would have Vampirella and just say she's hot as fuck.
Yeah.
Well, that will take you south, sir.
No, that would be honest. I was imbued with the desire that God gave into me to look at Vampirella and go, yes,
dude. Yeah, I would. You know, it's funny you mentioned Kirk. I would have picked Picard, but just obviously because that's what I grew up with. But it's funny because both Star Trek. Like, yeah, I'd probably do Picard.
Man, don't put me in the ground. Put me in Stan Lee's capsule, and just say he was a good fan.
There you go.
The best of us. That I'm going straight up with, of course, your boy Spider-Man, classic suit, Peter Parker, Peter Palmer for those OGs. Yeah, bury me with them.
What about you, Hector? I think I know.
Come on now, look, listen. This is very obvious right here, right? I would definitely take the Conan figure with me up to when the St. Peter. Yeah, he goes up, what's with the toy? And I go, Crom laughs at your 4 gates, and then just walk away.
I like that. Kofin says I would take Mafia's Samurai Predator with me.
Oh, hey, listen, I got
You
it.
could.
Man.
You could.
Dude, did you really? I mean, you know, I have one too, and that box might be one of the greatest action figure boxes of all time.
It is one of the coolest fucking
of all time.
But I don't have room, dude.
I mean, that box, you can just put the box on a pedestal, and it would be like, ooh.
Dude, the box is somewhere in here because I got it out of storage. I was like, well, I think I'm gonna have to. Because it doesn't fit anywhere and it sucks. I'm like, I'm out of space, and I'm like,
well, it's actually two. It's one box that has 2 boxes inside.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, the fucking Xenomorph base is one Hot Toy box, so it's like, it really is, man. Brother Cousin says DX13's going to heaven with me in a box of roses. Fuck, I need a DX13, dude. Hot Toys Christopher Reeve Superman.
Box of roses too.
So do we talk about is InArt actually doing Christopher Reeve?
2-pack.
Is that true?
They showed a tease.
I saw this tease. I didn't know if someone moneyed that up in Photoshop or what did they do with that?
No, it was a tease. They put that shit out.
Did I not say it? I think on this show that they were going to do that.
Yeah, you did.
I knew it. Because that's what I want.
It's gonna happen. They showed that tease. They showed the 2-pack. They were all facing away from the camera.
Yeah, and
right?
they showed other of the Fellowship too.
Yeah, well, I think it was Thorin. I think it was the Hobbit.
Yeah, I don't think it was Gimli either.
Oh, really? See,
yeah.
Come on, man. We were talking about give us the whole Fellowship. Come on.
Now, where my Game of Thrones fans at? Because I think we're getting the Daenerys. Yes, baby. We are going in. We getting the actual good Game of Thrones line.
Well, there's some in that line that are pretty good.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Let me calm down. Some of those pieces were good.
What if they gave you season 8 Daenerys?
Yeah.
Okay.
That was a great costume, though. For an action figure, the juxtaposition between her hair and her costume, which was all black and kind of detailing her like fall into madness. We could all talk about how they ended that show and how they wrote it, but that fall into madness and her going dark, that was pretty cool. So
yeah, that would be that would be art, dude. I gotta hold on. Hot Toys Nightmare, yeah, dude. Said I'll need a double wide coffin to be buried with my clone army. If you guys have not seen how many fucking clones he has, I don't remember. You let me know, bro, because last time I seen your collection, I think you were at like 40 something clones, right? So I'm interested to know if you
does that include like Sideshow clones before Hot Toys started making them?
I don't know.
Because Hot Toys, Sideshow made a lot of good clones.
Yeah, they did. I don't know because I'm not that versed in the clones. When I saw his collection, I was like, oh my god, that's a shitload of fucking. It's awesome. It's awesome. I just don't know what all it is.
Did you see pictures on Facebook of Bob Dylan?
Oh yeah. No, he's a real person. Yeah, he's always in our Discord. He's not AI.
Oh my god.
Guys.
No, but I mean, I'd never seen a picture of Bob Dylan, but it was his collection. See, I've been talking about displays and how diorama displays. I think that's the new thing.
Mm-hmm.
Bob Dylan's, man. Dylan's collection is up there, man. I was like. He was showing that Burly Brawl thing, and I'm like, he's got it in a case and stuff. I love because Bob Dylan goes for the movie poster like the explosion poses you know, like that. And I'm like, I love that shit. That like the fun of it, not the museum pose, the whole like in your face exploding artwork poses, tableau, call it tableau.
What he's done too with the
I'm like, where's that
John
fucking
Wick
video? Where's that
thing?
collection video, man? I want to see that shit right now.
Well, there he is. He's in the chat. Rob gets me.
Oh, there you go, man. I knew Bob Dylan was special, but I didn't know how special till I literally, it's so weird because whenever you see people on Facebook, he doesn't look anything like I imagined him looking. And he looks cool. He kind of looks George Perez-esque as a thin, healthy dude. But then his collection, I'm like, oh my God.
1/6 father.
That's the
like our
shit.
dad.
I was like, that's the shit right there.
Yeah, dude. No, Bob's a great guy, man.
But his collection's fun. You look at it, it's not just, I mean, seeing a good collection's great, but to see a good collection that explodes out and has personality, you know, and there's all that crazy detail of all the way he's posed everything and all the background pieces and all that. I was like, I want to go to that guy's house.
Dude. Yeah, one day, I think. I would too, man, because I mean, shit, dude, Diablo Fett went in there. I was like, wow. No, Bob's crazy, man. His collection is freaking aces, man.
I agree. Bob is crazy.
Yeah. Well, yeah, but he's our kind of crazy.
That's right.
Exactly.
Right. So it fucking fits, man. He fits, man. You're all welcome anytime. Thanks, Bob. I'm gonna take you up on that offer one day.
We should all take a road trip and just pick each other up on the way, go cross
just
country.
dog pile in.
Yeah, get like some Winnebago, like a mentor from the 70s Shazam show. We're traveling the highways and byways of the land, just pick up new people as we go. And we just arrive on Dylan's doorstep.
Unannounced. And it'll be just like the scene in Weird Science when they all get to the house and they open the front door and there's everybody there.
Wow. Yeah, dude. That's all right, Bob. Just
we're coming.
Plan for it. We're coming. Dude, Coffin Man got a nasty ass reality check today. Space is limited and you can't collect them all, even if you have the funds. Yeah, dude. That is basically the subtitle for 2023. That's a long ass subtitle, but that's, you know, this year has been like so good, like on any front you're going down, you know, any company you're going through. And I know a lot of us, I can't believe we're already like October tomorrow, like how much good shit's come out this year. And I know we couldn't get everything, but I know a lot of us got a lot this year, and space is just running out, man. Like I've sold a lot of shit just because I don't have the room, man. I'm like, oh my God, like where are we going? I mean, I got more and more Trek coming, more and more arcades coming, you know, there's just, you know, more vehicles coming. And then Jesus, man. Yeah.
That's the space killer. All these vehicles just coming out of nowhere. And it's like, you thought you had space, think again. And
yeah.
Thanks, Yost.
I know, right? I know. Because I'm going to get that 89 and I'm debating on the 95. Because that's more.
I love,
like that,
even though I don't love the movie as much, I love that 95.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I have a pull-out, spooning will be required.
Jesus, Bob. All right. There we go. Hot Toys. I have 96 Hot Toys clones, and I did not count the Bad Batch in that. I also have 3 Bark Speeders and 3 sidecars. Only 1 Sideshow clone.
Wow.
It's quite an impressive. Yeah, I haven't seen any. Dude, it's awesome. It is awesome, dude. I think you still have a video on your channel, I think, right? If you do, go check out his channel, man, and check, dude, it's fucking crazy. It's awesome. So I the dedication, dude, you know, the dedication. I can't do it, but that's fucking awesome when I see people do that shit. It's so badass. That just means I need to upgrade my space toy box. Yeah, bro. I mean, dude, yeah.
Not until interest rates go down.
Yeah. Wait, DX13
It is
or
not
John
a buyer's
Wick?
market. It is not a buyer's market right now. So I don't know. Hopefully, some of you that are looking to move soon, I'm praying for you. It's tough out there a bit.
Yeah, my chat's being all funky. It went like backwards. My apologies, guys.
What was the DX13? That was
Battle Damage Terminator 2, bro.
Or
Come on,
John
Arnold.
Wick. Wait a minute. Hold on. Bob, are you trying to acquire them or are you trying to get rid of one?
Oh, well, he knows if a DX13's going anywhere, it's got to be here. It's the only one I don't have.
That's what I'm saying. I'm like,
I think he was talking about like being buried. My chat was
Oh.
delayed, and I think, yeah.
gotcha,
Yeah, but
gotcha. Okay,
DX13, that's you, bro. Come on now.
Of course, it's me. Hey, look, listen. When we talk about figure accuracy, I sat down in the chair and I looked at James. I was like, one day they will make a 12-inch doll out of this, James, right? And James laughed at me and cast me out of a holla.
I don't know why Hot Toys never did. They did John Matrix. They did. Why Hot Toys never did at least give us 𝗕𝗘𝗢𝗠𝗘, Sandahl Bergman's character, and Conan, two different Conans, and one in the battle paint.
Oh, dude,
And-
I would go as far as give me 4. I want the pit fighter. I want the battle of the mounds, the black and white makeup, and just him normally as. Him
But I'm
Silver
surprised they didn't do it. I mean, we got a Commando figure, but not a Conan figure of Arnold.
I wonder if that's a universal thing because I have the NECA line that they're not posable at all, but like they already come stationed. NECA did a whole line of Conan figures and stuff, and Super 7 right now they're doing Conan figures based off the movie. So
I think that they're too. I don't see Hot Toys going back and doing medieval stuff.
that's a shame.
I think that's a thing. Maybe because they're more technology based and something like that. I mean, I think it's cool we're getting a Predator.
Yeah, well, I think
but that's a Conan line. I think everybody, especially if you had a 𝗕𝗘𝗖𝗢𝗠𝗘 body, and you had that would be it's such an iconic Conan, especially in the battle, the black and white. That's such an iconic piece.
Mm-hmm.
With so many different, whether it's the sword over the, there's so many different. I mean, I know that we are going to get it from that collectibles company because I had pre-ordered one.
So did I. Chronicle.
I pre-ordered their Conan.
It was like somebody. So that day was like when someone took my cat and just strangled it. Like I just started getting all the cancellation emails.
Who strangled
I'm like,
your
what?
cat?
Apparently, Chronicle Collectibles did.
But I mean, it's odd to me that with all the third-party figures and stuff, that no one's tackled that and given us. Like I loved James Earl Jones as Thulsa Doom and give a James Earl Jones head sculpt and the snake head sculpt.
Yeah, man.
Because it's crazy to me that it's also crazy to me that we've never got a Lucius Fox official release. They're all third party. I mean, Hot Toys did because I always say how racist Hot Toys is because I have no 𝗕𝗓𝗦𝗔𝗍 and I have no 𝗕𝗘𝗢𝗠𝗘. Why? They're the stormtroopers of the MCU. I want a whole shelf of 𝗕𝗓𝗦𝗍 right behind my throne of Wakanda with Shuri sitting in it. Come on, give me that. Why don't I have that? It's the same reason that we don't have a good James Earl Jones or a good Lucius Fox.
Well, I will say, as far as Conan is concerned, I just think they're beyond that shit now, which sucks.
But the thing is, I know, but I think it would sell.
It would. It
would, and I'm. You're seeing third parties tackle older films. InArt's expressing interest. I mean, clearly, even with Queen just showing off that Terminator 2 bust. I mean, they've done polls on like what kind of 80s kind of figures or 90s figures would you guys. They know there's a market out there.
Yeah, I think they crunch the numbers and they see, especially for like 𝗕𝗓𝗦𝗔𝗍, and I would love those figures, but I think they crunch the numbers and I think they see from their perspective. They are convinced that those characters won't sell as compared to the other characters.
But Shuri sold out. And you can't tell me that people wouldn't want the 𝗕𝗓𝗦𝗔𝗍 more than they would want Shuri. Because those 𝗕𝗓𝗦𝗍 costumes alone are so cool. They're and the thing is they could make, I mean, you could do a whole, because you've got, was it AO?
Right.
So you've got two, and you could do, and especially when you see with all the different weapons they've come with over the course of the different movies that they've been in, I think that those figures, because I mean, look, they released I bought it $100 Throne of Wakanda, I spent $100 on a chair. I mean, and you know what? You know what I can't do with that chair? I can't have the 𝗕𝗓𝗓𝗓 standing behind it, guarding whether it's Shuri, whether you want to put T'Chaka, T'Challa, Killmonger in that chair. You could do a cool display. And why haven't they done M'Baku? That would be a great figure.
Cool. That would have been
like,
really fucking
I don't
cool.
know. It's really tough to tell with Sideshow specifically, because we know that they've been trying to reel back since the pandemic in terms of how much they are purchasing from Hot Toys. I go and see videos of people going around in Hong Kong every other week, and there's a lot of figures that are sold out on Sideshow that are just sitting at these fucking shops in Hong Kong. So it's like the truth is somewhere in the middle there.
Yeah.
Like I'm with you in terms of the desire, Rob. I would love to have those figures.
Yeah.
But I just think there's something that they're convinced in their mind that is not allowing them to put that actually on paper and go ahead and design those things.
I think you're probably right. I mean, they know that Iron Man's going to sell. You make a die-cast Iron Man, someone's going to buy it.
Oh,
and things that I thought would have sold, like the original Ultron figure. Like, I just love Ultron, and I'm like, oh my god, I bought Ultron, and then I would see it discounted, nobody cared, and I'm like, how do you have a bunch of heroes but no villains? Like, the thing when I get the rest of my Modja cases, I'm gonna do the Bob Dylan style with, I want a Modja case of all of the villains. Like, that's why I have all 3 fat 6-scale Hot Toys Thanos figures and a big Thanos throne, so I can have him sitting down in like the thinker pose. Then I can have sad Thanos on his knees with he's defeated, and then warrior Thanos. So you could do the triptych Thanos, and then have all of the Marvel villains around him, like exploding outward, like here come the villains cover of whatever comic that you want.
That would be badass looking, dude.
Yeah, and there's like 2 Ultrons. You've got regular Ultron, and I've always posed my Ultron because you can make him give you the bird. So I've always had him doing that because the fingers move. But I mean, it's wild because those figures haven't, like, Red Skull sold out, but Ultron's easy to get. Yeah, it's crazy, isn't it? I would have thought it would have been different because, I would have thought that Ultron would have been something like, I don't understand. Why certain Hot Toys figures sell. I mean, all the main Batman will always sell. Iron Man will always sell. Yeah. Well, I think Age of Ultron wasn't really that great of a film. But it's aged way. You know what? That movie gets better every year that goes by. Does it? I haven't seen it in a while. Maybe I need to revisit it. When you watch it again, you're going to be like, oh, okay. There's so much fun stuff in that movie. Yeah. I'll watch it again. I'll watch it again. I'll watch it again. It's Come on, man. That's where Vision comes from. Yeah, I know. That scene was fucking dope. There was some good moments. But 12-inch Moose Stream, dude. Thanks so much, my man, for the $5 super chat, dude. Appreciate it. Says last week I went to Texas at AuxCon. Yeah, dude. Shout out to CW. Had a great time with Collected Weekly crew. I'm waiting for Mafia Con or Bob Dylan Con. I'm sure only 40 guys. Hell yeah. Oh, dude, thanks, man. Yeah, dude. We'll do something. There'd be more than 40 people at Dylan Con. Yeah.
There's a con every day at the Discord, y'all.
That is also true. Guys. I know, Rob, you got to come in the Discord sometime, dude, and come bullshit.
Very true.
I will. My channel has a Discord, and I've never been in it.
Jesus. Well, you can come in mine because we're always in there. I'm sure there's like 20 people in there chatting right now.
Rob, fun. right now in the Discord, we have a Bob Dylan meme contest going on where we're taking that very picture of Bob Dylan and memeing him up like crazy. There is some amazing, our beloved Iron King. He photoshopped Bob Dylan's face onto the Suicide Squad Harley Quinn figure, and it looks fantastic.
Yeah, man. Discord exclusive, guys. Seriously, man. There's a link right there. It's come on in, man. It's fun, dude. We're watching movies
on the internet, smoking. Telling you.
Yeah. It's not wrong, man. We're always in there. Like, everybody's always in there. So, kind of lost my train of thought on that one, but yeah, it's fun in there, dude. It's fun. But let's talk about this for a minute, guys, if we can, because one of the things that InArt said, which shocked the hell out of me, is that they're going to do some 12th scale figures.
Yeah.
And they're teasing it with the Nolan. Another Nolan figure.
Yeah. What do you guys think about that? I mean, my concern. Let me just preface this by saying my concern is if they start doing IPs within IPs that they're already doing in 6 scale, that they're not giving us 6 scale versions. Jesus, does that make any sense? Like, what if we get a fucking 12 scale Gimli?
Right.
I'd be like,
I honestly think the concern is more so of who are they targeting? Because if we know the guys that collect the smaller scale, like Marvel Legends, Mezco, things of that nature, then you know that those guys are quite frugal. Okay, these guys make a video when something's $50. Okay, they go off when something is literally $50 to $60 because they're operating in a different price range than we are. We're gonna look at something when we look at something like under $100, like, oh, that's cheap because of what we deal with, right? They are not dealing with that. They're gonna look at, oh my god, $100 for that, or $200 for a 112 figure, like that.
That is not the demographic they should be aiming for.
That's going to be a tough ask. Yes.
Yeah, because those 12 scale collectors are used to spending $20-$30, 40 maybe.
Yeah.
I think they're going after
100
the
maybe on
Mezco crowd.
Yeah.
I think that's who they're targeting. I don't think they're going to be like, hey, I know you collect this Marvel Legend. You want to go for this? Like,
no. I don't know, right? Yeah, I don't know.
The Mezco guys are already paying the range and what this is. I bought my brother a gift for his birthday. It was the Mezco Wolverine, the one that's on top of the Sentinel and it lights up and does 2 different.
Oh yeah.
He loves the darn thing because he's a huge Wolverine fan growing up, and I think it's fantastic. You swap out heads, clothes, soft goods on the body, and it has a whole thing. It comes like damn near in a lunch pail. Like, they really go all out in terms of trying to give you a quality 112 figure. So I'm thinking that's where InArt wants to go here. They want to compete with Mezco in that category. That's the only way that this makes sense, and that they'll have an actual targeted audience that makes sense.
I agree with that. But before I continue, I just want to say to Amir, he says you have an opportunity to go to Star Trek Las Vegas next year. First time ever. Been excited to go. Dude, I will see you. And Rob, you better fucking make it this year.
I know. Yes,
you got a year to plan. Let's do it. But listen, no, here's the thing. I totally get what you're saying, Late Bloomer, but I also think like they're just starting out in 6 scale. So I'm almost like, whoa, wait a minute. Are you spread? But I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, let's
you're gonna get your hands on this. If you're an American, how are you gonna get your hands on this? This is another thing. That's like,
yeah,
there's issues with that. Like we already have we've already kind of been around the block with the 6 scale figures, right? And we got another block coming with the Pennywise and the Gandalf. Those are around the block for a lot of people, down the street for some. But we'll see, because those things, just in terms of the distributions for those, have been challenged. So we'll see with that as well. Like, you got a high price point for a smaller figure, and then also you have distribution issues, a legacy of distribution issues at this point. Tough ask. So I'm curious to see how this is going to go. They've currently got a few competitors, like Uncarded has said, Mezco, Beast Kingdom, Medicom. Those are that, they are, the premium 112 guys, right? Companies, right? So that's going to be interesting to see how they're mixing and all of that.
Dude, totally, man. Oh, thank you, my man. Thank you. You didn't have to do that. I appreciate Super Chat. I was actually going to read that. I was interested by it, but he said, I am a 112th collector, and all of mine are really high-end soft goods, mostly custom, mostly imports, like mini Hot Toys. I make them on my channel. Dude, that's badass, bro. I want to check that out.
So what would be a good price range then, man, for them to sell this?
But I just am wondering, how could, as good as they could be at that, does that best serve what InArt can do? I mean, if the thing I would ask, if you can't get, I mean, if they're going to we were talking about how difficult it is to make fabrics and things at 6 scale that emulate 1-to-1 scale, but at 12 scale, you're working in fabric, you're working in silicone, whatever. That's twice as hard at 6. And how do you do that? I don't know. I mean, that's more of a rhetorical question. And I mean,
of course,
if InArt wants to jump in, because like, 𝗕𝗕𝗢𝗠𝗘, I was just thinking about, like, I've got
Man Down, Aquaman Down.
Momoa, your sequel's not out yet. Stop it.
I keep knocking Momoa down. I keep doing it. But and my custom Momoa keeps, and I bought this die cast Trident, which was like ridiculously, but like, this is their 12 scale Dawn of the Dead 2-pack, and this is pretty good, but it's, and these figures are really great, but I don't, would you, I can't imagine at 12 scale, this was already like $150 or something.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna.
So that would be like a $300 maybe, or
yeah, like, and that's the thing. Like, how do you do it? And like I have the Warriors 4-pack that comes in a metal box, and I don't even collect 12 scale. I only just, because Dawn of the Dead is one of my favorite movies, so I bought.
Oh yeah, of course, yeah.
So
damn. Yeah, it comes. Yeah, because that's, I think with 6 scale, it's kind of like. And again, maybe this is me. Well, probably not. I think it's a lot of us that, we're comfortable in that price range because of the size, because it's 6 scale. We're like, oh, okay, this is quite large. I mean,
right.
All things considered, versus, yeah. So, okay. At the moment, Bloomer, or in a little bit, my bad. You got to go in a few minutes, or?
No, we're fine right now. Like, maybe another like 20 minutes. Then
okay, cool. Yeah, I didn't want to keep you this long. All right, cool. Yeah, no, 12 scale is cool. Don't get me wrong, but I feel like 6 scales where it's at. Right, that's the sweet spot. That's the sweet spot where you can really. And don't get me wrong, I've seen some decent. My buddy Sean, Toku Collector, he showed me. The fuck did he just show me? He showed me a figure, 12 scale. It's got like a couple different head sculpts and other stuff. I'm probably
there's some great 12 scale figures.
The articulation is unmatched. I mean, because of the accuracy that we desire here. I mean, we spent about 15-30 minutes talking about like accuracy. Because of the accuracy we desire here, that's going to always going to basically present itself in the form of a limitation in terms of articulation. Because of that, when we go down to 112, they've got toes, they've got elbow joints, head, swivels here and there. Like, they don't give a damn. They just want you to be able to play and articulate. Like, articulation will always be great down there.
Yeah, I mean, and that's the thing. Talk about dioramas or collect. Like, there was a time when, because I love the X-Men, that I contemplated just buying X-Men 12 scale figures. And then I started to do the math, between 𝗕𝗕𝗢𝗠𝗘 and the Mezco, and it rapidly went up into the thousands and thousands of dollars, and because a lot of those figures are like $125.
Yeah,
and when you go, and the X-Men line is really deep across different companies, and I'm like, man, I'd just love to have all of any X-Men peripherally related characters, which I'll never get in 6 scale.
No. Well, I mean, we have the Mondos for animated, but
yeah, but even those are going to be limited because there was only, because a lot of the Mezco and the 𝗕𝗕𝗢𝗠𝗘 and those things, those lines are deep, and they really went. You can get a white Deadpool, you can get a red Deadpool, you can get a lady Deadpool, and then, where do you draw the line? And they made so many X-Men, because I was thinking to have like Bob Dylan that shit, where you have a whole pantheon of X-Men all coming out at you.
Yeah, that was partly my goal too with 1/6 scale, and right now it seems like we're all just kind of holding our breath to see if Toys can put together a Storm. The Rogue was fantastic from my opinion. I love the Rogue.
That figure is so great.
So good. Everybody was in love with Deadpool 2 or either one of Deadpools. I love the Cable personally. And also I have the Days of Future Past Wolverine.
I do too, and that is a great figure.
Yes, it's fantastic, but then it starts to get hazy out there in terms of X-Men.
Well, you know what's funny?
First Class, or it starts to get hazy.
The guy who got me this Aquaman, I went and bought a lot of. He had a huge collection of. I bought all of his 6 scale, like Toys X-Men, and some are better than others because they made like the Juggernaut and stuff. But if you some, I mean, like I've got the Days of Future Past Storm.
Oh yeah,
and this isn't the greatest figure in the world. I mean, because it's third party, but the costume's pretty good, and you put this in a display with all of the X-Men together.
Yeah, then that's
pretty
gonna look
dope.
really
Because then people aren't going, oh, because this is all third party and they're varying degrees, and this is like, even though it's 6 scale, it's kind of smaller. But if you put them all together, because the 6 scale Magneto is really good. I got Professor X, 2 different versions. One as one using a QMX Patrick Stewart head, or then going with what's his face, younger Xavier, but they're in the same costume. James McAvoy. Yeah. And so, but when you put them all together, Bob Dylan style, then it's like that's the X-Men. And you're not
see it all as like
you make the tableau, and that's why I think that displays are going to be the new thing amongst collectors, because we've all kind of got the same figures. I mean, it just depends. Oh, you don't have that, or we do have this, but it's the displays like what Bob Dylan is doing that suddenly takes your collection to another level. And it also is another, like when you did, Anthony, you can see it, your arcade,
okay,
and you used the different figures, and you made, again, a tableau. You told a story. You've got the T-1000 looking for young John Connor in the arcade. Awesome, and those things, because that differentiates the collectors. Like, we all know what the figures are, but the cleverness and the displays are, I think, going to be the future of how we all start flexing our figures.
Yeah, 100%, man. Because I mean, we could all have figures, we could all have the same, and they could all be just standing on a shelf and all looks the same, and that's cool, if you're just collecting. But I like being real creative with everything. I just, creating dios and just environments and stuff. And obviously, I do photos and videos too, so there's that, so it all comes in. Take that out and then go just to my regular collecting life. I'm like, well, that reflects me. I was like, I like the creativity. Just have fun, mix things up, things that didn't happen, Well,
that's the thing. You can tell, you can make your multiverse of madness stories with your figures.
Yeah, it's fun.
That are probably better than the movie.
Yeah, I got my Batman fighting a Captain America, or just whatever. You know what I mean? Just throwing out examples.
I mean, well, to Rob's point, when that multiverse of madness, copyrighted, don't take my idea. I'm not even getting a figure, so I'm just playing. But when that figure comes out, you can literally have her just like demolishing all different random figures in your collection. Like it would fit. Yeah. Like she would have done that. Any universe where she would have gone to get a chance to get her kids, she would have did that. So.
Well, it's funny that you say that, because now that you just mentioned that, you could do a really great display where you have Star Wars figures, Star Trek figures, MCU, DC, all lined up against Wanda. Could any figures and it would be G.I. Joe 12-inch figures. Take your pick.
Yeah.
The Cobra Commander has been roped in to try and take out Wanda.
Just be creative, have fun. Like, again, back to my point about an hour ago, collect happily, and that's part of it. Like, you don't have to always say, "Oh, if it's not a part of the movie, I can't." Like, you're limiting yourself, and like, there's so much more fun you can have when you think outside of the the label that figure belongs to.
I had my Wonder Woman and my Conan sword fighting. They were both posed like with the swords like that and stuff like that. I had that for a while.
Somebody made a good 12 scale Conan, didn't they?
Caustic Plastic did.
Is that who did it?
Yeah, and there are also
They do great 6 scale figures.
their Hammer horror figures are amazing. Their
Yeah.
Nosferatu is amazing. The Bela Lugosi one is amazing.
Yeah, that's right.
They
Oh,
also
jeez.
and they're the ones that work with Sly for his figures, like the Cobra, the Rocky.
I'm
that's
so
coming
pissed
out.
I didn't get that. I don't even like that movie, but I just love that character.
Hey,
What,
listen,
Cobra?
Marion
they're-
Cobretti.
They're bringing it back. They
Yeah,
brought it
the
back.
pre-orders are open.
Oh, they
Pre-orders
are?
Yeah, I forgot to tell you
Oh,
that.
I gotta
They're-
get. I have to get it.
They asked for the price, full price up front. Just to
Yeah,
let you
keep
know.
that
There's
in
no
mind,
payment
bro.
plans.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
fine.
Okay.
But I want those people who talk to Sly's agent. I want those people to talk to Arnold's agent, and I need 𝗦𝗢𝗠𝗘.com. And let's start getting some Running Man. Let's start getting.
Yeah.
Come on.
Because I'm starting to
Turbo
do.
Man.
I want to do a shelf of cops, like movie cops, because I've got Judge Dredd and RoboCop, Axel Foley, Vincent Hanna from Heat, Robert Al Pacino's character. So I want to do a whole, and I need Marion Cobretti, and I've got to get Dirty Harry, and I want to get the whole.
And don't forget John Kimball.
Yes.
Oh, fucking Hector, dude, it's awesome, dude. Guys, we're probably gonna wrap in a little bit because I know Bloomer's got to go, and we did start an hour early today.
Oh, I didn't realize
but,
that. I'm sorry. Thanks for letting me
No,
on.
you're okay. No, yeah, you know, when I talked to you earlier, I thought you were out. I thought you were out of town, so I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah, no, yeah, it was yesterday. The last 2 days have been just insane.
Just been crazy. What can you talk about it at all, or I mean?
Well, yeah, no, I can. So I am producing some scripted audio dramas like you would hear on Audible, but they've got, let's just say this, they've got some actors that you might know that are going to be in them, and they're based on the author Max Allan Collins, who wrote the graphic novel Road to Perdition. He has written a series of detective novels that take place from the 30s to the 60s about a detective named Nathan Heller. And Nathan Heller gets involved in different historical events as part of his detecting. And so the 18th book in the Nathan Heller series, let's see what it's right here. This comes out on October 10th.
Oh, let's see.
Too Many Bullets. So this is the 18th Heller novel. So I am producing that audio podcast. So it's going to be like a movie, but no picture, just audio, like you'd hear on Audible, like the Sandman podcast. So we're doing that, and I was putting that together and getting the actors together. And I'll just say this: our lead actor who signed on has a 6 scale figure.
So it is confirmed.
Yeah, but
It
you
is
can't
somebody.
say
It
yes.
is somebody I know.
Yes, you can't say who it is.
Interesting.
But yes,
Interesting.
that is signed, sealed, and delivered.
I might.
Wow.
I think I figured that out.
That's
So-
very cool.
So it's pretty cool. Yeah. So we're doing that, and then I was at Universal doing Designing Hollywood with Ellen Moroznik, who's this is really wild. So I do this Designing Hollywood podcast. The costume designers are always tickled when I show them 6 scale figures. They can't. They want to see them close up. They want to hold them because none of them. They never get hot toys sent to them. And like Ellen Moroznik did, she did Starship Troopers, and I told her, I go, you can get a 6 scale figure of your armor, and she was like, you're kidding. And I said no, and I told her I just realized this. She also did like Black Rain, Ridley Scott's Black Rain. And I told her that Medicom made a 6 scale figure of Sato and a real action hero figure of Sato that comes with his wearing that black leather jacket. And she's like, no way.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yes. And so all these costume designers are, they worked on all these big movies, and they think it's just hilarious that we collect their figures. But no one, like the Disney doesn't send figures to any of the costume designers. so they don't even know. Like, I'm like, they meticulously are recreating your work,
Right.
in 6 scale. And Ellen said to me, she goes, well, why don't they ever call me? Like, I would consult with them. You know, I would look and go, okay, you have to change these buttons here. Like, there's something different here. And I was like, yeah, why don't they? And I don't think anyone at the 6 scale companies would think to contact the actual, because a lot of these costume designers build those costumes from scratch. Not so much the superhero costumes, because those are usually built, like DC has a place called the Bat Cave where they build a lot of these costumes. But other costumes, like I've got the Blitzway figure of Sharon Stone from Basic Instinct that's right over here. It's quarter scale. And Ellen 𝗕𝗓𝗔𝗔, she was the costume designer of Basic Instinct. She's like, I'd love to see that. I'm like, well, I can't bring my quarter scale.
They made a quarter scale figure of Sharon Stone from Basic Instinct.
Why do you think it's like right here?
And not only that, it's the moment where she's crossing and uncrossing her leg.
Get out of here.
Oh, yeah.
Get out of here.
She's got her cigarette up like this. What are you going to do? Arrest me for smoking? And she's got her compact. And you can either take her Versace, I think it's Versace, or maybe you can take her jacket off where she's just got the white dress on with no panties, or you can have her jacket on. I currently have the jacket on. But she's never outside of my view.
Are the legs articulated?
That's why I was laughing.
The legs,
like,
the legs are crossed. They are crossed. They are crossed. It's it's a great, and Blitzway made it. They made a Godfather statue. And the thing that I most want, and Denobi has one, is the quarter scale Apollo astronaut coming off the limb.
He does.
I want that so bad.
Damn. So. Yeah. Well, that sounds really awesome, dude. I'm glad that that's going through, man. You'll have to obviously keep us updated, because I want to hear it when it's ready and whatnots. And
yeah, we're gonna do a crowdfunding campaign. We're producing a short first, because I have to be honest, I have no idea how much it's gonna cost to do a 6-hour audio drama, because everything has to be created. Like when you're mixing to picture, you've got picture, but when you're creating a new, and we're mixing it in Dolby Atmos, so like for the premiere of the first full-blown thing, we're gonna have it in a movie theater, where you like go to a movie theater and you listen to the first 2 hours, and we'll turn off all the lights, and you'll hear it in a full-on 5.1 or 7.1 or in Dolby Atmos.
That would be dope. That'd be dope. Well, shit, guys, I think we're probably gonna wrap, because we're almost at 2.5 hours. Bloomer, man, it was a pleasure to have you on, my man, as always. I know you got to go soon, but you got the floor, my man. What's good?
Again, as always, just blessed to be here. Thankful that the sun came up and rose today, and thank you so much for thinking of me anytime when stuff like this happens. You know I got your back, bro. Thank you so much.
I like your display too. I like the.
Thank you.
Now, what is that figure? Is that a? Okay, I was gonna say that's Iron Man. That's okay.
That's a Battle Damage 85 right there.
Yeah, that's what I have that figure. I've never opened it.
You should, man. It's fantastic.
I know. I've got I've got my other 85 that's right there. I just have never, because I wanted to have my Thanos display in the new 𝗦𝗔𝗩𝗘 cases. So
Is that a good problem to have? Like just buying figures, be like, I haven't opened it yet. Is that a good problem to have?
I think I think it's bad, because like I said, I could get hit by a bus. Like Late Bloomer was saying, man.
Yeah.
Why own figures if you haven't opened them? What's the point?
Just write it in your will. Like if I'm in a vegetative state, have someone come over to me and physically take my hands and unbox my figures.
Well, what's weird is I can't wait to read the op-ed pieces in like 25 years or 30 or 40 years when everybody passes on, and what their next of kin did with these figures. Like, are they gonna do anything with them, or like is someone gonna come in and see that? Like, I have a 4-foot model of the space battleship Andromeda from Star Blazers. Is someone gonna walk in? I mean, I waited 2.5 years to get all the pieces and then built it, and it took months, and it's all illuminated. Is someone just gonna look at that model and throw it away in a garbage can because no one knows what it is? Probably.
Luckily, I have a little brother that collects.
Oh, that's good.
So it would probably
Yeah.
go to him. So
Yeah, I'm working
Man.
on the kid thing, but I do have nieces right now at the moment. So and
It's
they
all
come
going
over
with
and
me.
they point to all the characters, and so it's great. I love that. That's like fulfilling for me. But yeah, let me just kind of let you guys know a little bit about what to expect from me. If you follow me on Instagram, my Instagram, my link is in the description. I just got Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 Gamora. Just bought Star-Lord last night, so I'll have those two. I'm working on a couple.
Oh, you
shelves,
did it.
so
You
if
did it.
guys,
Okay.
Yeah, pulled the trigger. So I'm working on a couple shelf that you guys will see a little later on as I continue to, develop that. I also just got this guy in for my anime lovers. If you guys know, Naruto, this is Sasuke from Shippuden by Zen Creations. I can't
Wow,
wait
that
to
looks
get
like
into
it's a
this.
great figure. That's
Yeah, it's a big box. So this is let me see if I can get this looked up. Just this little flap here.
Wow. Yeah, could you scooch that over? So I could, yeah. Wow, that looks great.
Yeah, so I'll have high res pictures on this soon enough. As soon as I get them cracked open, and I'll have them posed up with Naruto. So those are the things that I have going on right now. Currently, I almost dropped the box. That I have going on currently. Later tonight, literally 30 minutes from now, you can catch me on another stream over at 𝗕𝗘𝗖𝗢𝗍 Figures. We'll be talking about 1/12 scale stuff, so all smaller scale stuff. Shout out to my man 𝗕𝗘𝗖𝗍. So we'll be talking about that soon enough here. Again, also you can catch me on Figure Flex Friday and also on Wednesdays with Layel, and as well. You can catch me in the 6 Scale Mafia Discord, the best place on the internet right now. If you haven't got the link, go grab it. Come join us. We're always unboxing, shooting the shit in the chat. We'd love to just have more and more like-minded vibe check individuals that can come in there and share their collection like we've had over the last few months. So again, thank you so much, Mafia, for the invitation. Just appreciative and blessed to be here. Thank you,
dude. Always, brother, always, man. I think I just messed up on the link, guys, but seriously, if you can click the link in the chat, you don't even have to talk. There's a lot of people in there that just type, and that's cool. And we have voice chats and video chats and movie nights, and we're watch parties and unboxings, and dude, there's crazy collections in there like Bob Dylan and other people, like private collectors that are just like, yo, check it out, and you get to see this crazy stuff that like puts a lot of us to shame. I'm like, yo, that's deep, but it's super fun, guys. Seriously, man, come check it out, man. Come hang out with us, man. Hector, my dude, how are you?
Yeah. I'm good. How are you doing?
I'm gonna full screen you.
Okay, first of all, everyone, listen. Right now, you can follow me in the Instagram, right, where I take the pictures of my dollies right here at 1/6 𝗕𝗍𝗓, right? I don't get passed around like 𝗕𝗓𝗍𝗓 does. That was my ex-wife, all right? Anyways, check this out, right? Just come over to the Discord. We'll have fun. I get to talk to Sly, and then the two Slys, they get to talk to each other because they're little men, right? And then, we have so much fun. This October, no pre-orders, all right? We're going to go into abstinence for the 1 month, and I'm going to win because I don't collect anything but DC, and we know nothing ever comes out for DC, right? So have fun, say your prayers, take your vitamins, copyright that. I don't know, bro.
No, that was great, man. No, that was fucking awesome, dude. Yeah, dude, guys, yeah, seriously, man. Thank everybody for coming in, hanging out with us tonight, man. I hope everybody has a great rest of their weekend. I don't know if we're doing anything tomorrow or not. Or Tuesday, man. I haven't been doing my Tuesday show because Ahsoka's been airing at the same time I go live, so I've kind of put it off. But this is the last episode for Ahsoka, and I'll probably be back on the Tuesday nights again. And some reviews, man. I think my Gandalf shipped, so my InArt Gandalf. So yeah, just
put that hat on, all right?
Oh, I will do dude, it'll be a nice, I'm gonna have fun. I'm gonna do a review on it, of course, take some good photos and have fun. And there you go, Hector.
There you go. Get to the chopper!